I have a friend of mine who works for like a travel agency. He was like, yeah, so there was this Australian-born Chinese guy. And like, I couldn't believe it until he actually showed me a photo. This dude's name.
Oh no.
I swear on my life, this dude's name was David Ching Chong Bong. They're like, first of all, so where does your surname start? Are you Mr. Bong? Are you Mr. Chong Bong? Or are you Mr. Ching Chong Bong? Like, how am I, or do I just call you David? Ready?
Ready? I am ready.
Is that a SpongeBob reference?
I don't know. Is it?
You should know. It's episode 1, bro.
Shit, was it?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Remember,
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
always
I'm
says so.
ready!
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a
Gave me an
SpongeBob
excuse
reference.
to do it.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was just like, please, let me say it.
That's right.
So
Joey,
giddy. It was like,
Joey
yeah.
waits for the opportunity to quote that.
I love it. It's a good quote. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Trash Taste Podcast. I'm Joey, and I'm with the boys, Connor and Garnt. As per usual, we're back.
Man,
My boys are back.
My sleep schedule has been atrocious.
Why?
It was amazing. I was waking up at 6 a.m.
Uh-huh.
Generational run, they were
You're
saying.
waking up 6 a.m.?
I was waking up 6 a.m. for like a month straight.
I was waking up at
damn.
7 a.m. for a month straight.
Damn.
Proper
And
old
then,
man.
I thought I was doing well at 8 a.m.
you know, and then obviously League of Legends started, the World Championships.
Oh, wow.
Let's
My
not-
empathy just went out
let's
the window.
not talk like that's pain. That's pain. We don't want to talk about
And there was
that,
nothing
you
but
know.
pain.
You don't want to
Yeah.
talk about
We
it?
don't want
What's
to talk
crazy is
about
that.
that.
I ruined my sleep schedule and all my teams lost.
Oh,
So, like,
shit.
And I don't, you know, some of these games were going on till 3.
Yeah.
So I was like, God, man,
Damn.
I want to go to bed, but like it's neck
You
and
stayed up
neck.
till 3 to take an L?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yes.
And so now I'm like, I've not adjusted my real life schedule
Right.
to be around my sleep schedule. So now I'm like, yeah, I can wake up at 9. Yeah, what's up? What's up? You know, I'm good. Nah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Elden Ring has ruined my life.
Yeah, it does that. It does
It's
that.
just I tried to go to bed at a reasonable time yesterday, and I was like, all right, finish streaming. Mind you, I'd been streaming 10 hours of Elden Ring.
Yeah.
So I was
Goddamn.
like, I'm all
The
Elden
shortest
Ring.
Elden Ring.
I'm all Elden Ringed out. I was like, I'm gonna get a good night's sleep. I'm like up at I'm in my bed at like 1 a.m. and like my eyes are wide open. I was like, there's an item I need to get. And I was like, but I can't go downstairs to boot up my computer. Luckily, I'm sponsored by Asus, and they gave me the ROG Ally X, which luckily has Elden Ring downloaded on it.
Oh
This
my
isn't a
God.
sponsor. I was like, all right,
You said that a little too smoothly.
I'm gonna
You
get
say it like a sponsor.
I'm gonna get this one item, and then I look at the clock, and it's 3 a.m. I'm like,
Wow. Goddamn, man.
fuck my life.
Have you had a
Yeah.
good sleep schedule at least?
No, because I've been playing Metaphor Refantasy.
Oh god.
I was also up till 3 a.m. last night.
What the fuck?
playing
Oh my
Metaphor.
God.
So we're all very tired for completely different reasons.
Joey, you turned 30. This is when you meant to I need to take aware,
You
be
guys
aware.
are
of
Yeah,
it.
you're
can't do
telling
this.
me. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yes, I will. I will be the responsible 30-year-old and have a decent to good sleep schedule. And then Atlas was like, hold up. You want to stay up for this? And I was like, yes, I'm sat. I'm listening. Because it's so fucking... I'm already 40 hours in.
Holy shit! I'm only
The game came out 4 days ago.
I'm 3 hours in.
Dude, I just can't stop. It's so good.
How's it compared to Persona?
Because look, I knew it was gonna be good, obviously, because it's Atlas and it's same series director, same character designer, same composer.
So
as the
it's
Persona
just
games.
a kind of a medieval persona.
It's medieval.
It's
Persona.
fantasy
Okay.
Persona,
It's
basically.
It's fantasy Persona.
but
all the way.
but I don't know what it is. I thought Atlas couldn't cook anymore after Persona 5. Persona 5 and Persona 3 Reload. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
they're just like, it's peak. This is peak JRPG. And then
Yeah.
they were like, we got one more in us. And they just pulled out one of the best JRPGs I've played in a very, very long time. I would dare say better than Persona.
There's a lot of racism in that.
A lot of racism.
First 2-3 hours was like, wow, our country is really racist.
Yeah.
And also, what was really funny is that they have this.
You have to explain.
they have this fantasy book.
That's gonna get taken out of context.
They have this fantasy book in this fantasy world, and the fantasy in this world is like our real world. So it shows like a picture, and it's like
And it's like buildings and like
real life building. It's like the modern metropolis, and they're all like, yes, in this fantasy world, racism doesn't exist and everyone gets along. And there are no wars being waged. And I was just like, is this a metaphor?
It's like,
is
that's the name of the game.
Is this what are you trying to say here?
Yeah, I don't want to
So am I
say
playing in the racist world or the non-racist world?
the racist world.
Yeah, you're playing
Okay,
the
that's
racist
good.
world.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of fantasy worlds where it's like there's different races of the species of humans and like anthropomorphs and like all that kind of stuff. And there's obviously like very much like you're that species, you're worse than I am, or like I'm better than you are. And there's like a clear like racist intention behind it.
Oh, so is that like what? Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the purpose of the non-racist world in this context?
So
to give them something to strive towards.
Yeah.
Which is our world.
Yeah.
Oh, so the goal is trying not to be racist.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in
And
there,
how many hours is this game?
I think it's estimated to be. It's over 100 hours. I've heard. So it's like a Persona game. I'm 40. Like, see, I don't want to say too much because throughout the game, obviously, because you're only 3 hours in, right?
Yeah.
So you've only gotten like the baseline.
I just vibe checked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 40 hours in, and they've definitely kind of explained a lot more of what's going on.
Okay.
And obviously, I don't want to say it because it's good to go into this blind. But there's like, it's not just like, oh, we're a racist world. Let's strive to not be a racist world. It's not that simple.
I'm sure there's some people who argue we would like to still be racist.
I mean, yes, in this fantasy world,
there are some of those people around.
in this fantasy world, there is like an organized like religious like group that is like, oh no, we would like to keep it the way it is. Thank you very much, because we are on top, and these peasants don't deserve to be where we are.
Makes you think, huh?
Although I did find it really funny when they're like showing this like in the fantasy book, which is like the real world, and they're like, in this world, racism doesn't exist and everybody works on a democracy. And I'm just like, yeah, about that. It's not quite like
Maybe
that.
it's better to keep it as a fantasy.
Maybe in Japan, but even then, it's like not too sure about that. But I get what they're going for. But obviously. But
So
yeah, there's just so many.
kids?
Oh, dude, there's so many like quality of life things that they've improved upon from like the Persona game. I think that has just made it a lot more interesting.
Less visual novel.
Well, no, it's still that. I mean, the game opens up with like a 45-minute cutscene. So
I mean, that's fine. Do you have to like date people and schmooze them?
no,
Actually, there's no romance in this one.
there's no
That's good.
romance. Yeah,
but
good.
you,
Just a
but
waste
you,
of time.
But you still can like befriend people.
Yeah.
So by befriending them, you
by
get up your
basically
social links.
by befriending them, you unlock different classes that you can use to then switch your characters around.
yeah.
So the concept is really cool, and like visually speaking, I don't know how they keep cooking, but it's one of the most beautiful games I've seen.
I mean, I'm just going to count this as Persona 6. because
It is.
It basically is.
It is, yeah.
You know,
It's what I saw a Donkey's video on it this morning, and,
yeah.
and I think he said like it's like they combined Persona with Persona. It's like shit, he's right. But yeah, very good.
what do you think of the music in it?
Oh, it's so good. I mean, Meguro Shoji is like the GOAT when it comes to like video game composers, and like it's not like the kind of jazzy style that they had in like the past Persona games. It's like very much like fantasy, but also
As Kevin would say, it's biblical.
oh, it is biblical.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Bro, that
bloody
battle
brilliant.
music where that guy drops bars in Latin
No,
or
no,
whatever.
no. And I'm just like, let's go.
I gotta hear this.
It's so sick. The battle music for this is so sick. But yeah, I don't know. Just like, I think again, like one thing I also really appreciated is that like it's like not as easy as Persona, I would say, because like Persona, especially when you compare it to like Shin Megami Tensei, like Shin Megami Tensei was very like grind intensive, where it's like if you don't grind and if you don't strategize going into a battle, then you just get completely like one-shotted. Whereas like Persona is a little more lenient on that, where it's like even when you're playing in normal difficulty, if you make a little bit of a mistake, you can still kind of recover and learn from it within the same battle without dying.
Yeah.
Whereas Metaphor ReFantazio, at least from my experience, is like kind of in between. So it's not as grindy and difficult as Shin Megami Tensei, but also like I'm at a point now where I need to start grinding a little bit, because otherwise I'm going into these battles, I'm getting just fucking one-shotted.
Are you playing normal mode?
I'm playing normal mode, yeah.
Okay.
Even in normal mode, I'm like, damn, these battles are actually really fucking tough. And like,
Right.
and you really have to strategize, being like, what combination of classes you need to go with, because different combination of classes, you can unlock extra skills that you can use together. And some of those skills are like a make or break for some battles. It's like if you don't have a particular set of classes, you just cannot beat a boss.
Yeah.
So it's cool. I enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's been consuming my life.
Oh, well, good luck.
And will probably continue to consume my life until I finish it.
Well, I'm surprised you already put 40 hours in, considering it's only like 4 days old.
I know.
And
I've been playing the day it came out, I think I played for like 15 hours.
oh my god.
I literally woke up. I downloaded it the night before. I woke up, played it until night.
Bro.
So good.
Bro's an addict. He doesn't know.
Should have streamed it, Joe. Should have streamed it.
No, dude, no. You know, more than anything, those games just don't do well on stream.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately.
That's true.
Yeah, so I'm enjoying it.
Here's how you can get passive income. Just play video games, but turn on the camera.
But turn on the camera.
Turn on the camera.
Yeah. Never interact with chat.
That's basically what I've been doing lately with this stupid factory game. I'm fucking addicted to.
Oh, yeah.
What's this factory game?
Satisfactory.
All right.
You just
Every time I see Connor, he's like, I gotta play it.
I went on Twitch one afternoon and I saw you were playing with Mouse and I was just watching you. You guys were just so locked in. Like it didn't even look like you were playing a game. It looked like you were doing like a job.
I was. Like it's so bad that I have to like remind myself. I'm like, I haven't blinked in like 10 minutes. I gotta blink.
It's like, why are my eyes so sore?
Yeah, because I'll feel the burning and I'm like, fuck, I gotta fucking blink.
Yeah.
And it's so I thought I was getting myself into a fun little hee ha ha crafting game.
Yeah.
It's turned into so much more than that.
An addiction.
It's terrible. You ever seen Factorio? It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
First person and fancy. It's ruining my life totally. I can't do anything else. All I think about is just stupid fact. I'm literally working like a 9 to 5 after I do the easiest 9 to 5.
Yeah.
It's like and then I get recommended YouTube videos now because obviously I do. I've fallen that deep.
Yeah.
And every recommendation is either from a German dude or a guy who is 60 years old.
60.
And he's like, he's called like, I don't know. I think he's called like Gaming with Doc or something.
Right.
Presumably he's a doctor. I don't know. But he's like, yeah. So I'm just listening to like 50-year-old men tell me how to optimize my factory floor. And I'm like, yeah, shit, that is right. That's smart. That's smart.
It's like, damn, I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah. I've never thought I would have fun balancing loads. So that's, because if you mine ore, you need to make sure every machine gets the required amount for it. Mm-hmm. But now I've just unlocked particle accelerators and antimatter.
Ooh.
So now
you're going into the fun stuff.
So I went from like stone to now I'm like, I've just finished building a nuclear power plant.
Smashing the atom.
Yeah. I building a nuclear power plant took so long. So long.
Is it as easy as you said the other day?
It's hard, man. You've to.
Yeah, no shit.
Turns out it's really fucking hard.
That's why we gave you shit for it.
Yeah. Even in the like easy thing, even in the easy game, it's hard.
Yeah.
You have to enrich uranium.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Wow. Who would have thought that would be like a difficult thing to do?
Oh my God. It's so annoying. It's the worst. Imagine going home being like, what a fun day.
Yeah.
Time to clock in.
I mean, I feel like we're all clocking in different things right now.
There must be someone out there who's like a factory worker in real life. And he's like, man, I can't wait to get home and play Satisfactory and build another factory.
I'm sure there is. Yeah, I'm sure there is.
I built like a train station that ships cargo in. And then like, it's fun because you can ride it. And you're like, this is sick. This is so sick. And then I just built like a drone port. You'll ship stuff via drones, and I'm like, this is getting excessive. Like,
you're becoming the Amazon now.
Yeah, I am like just destroying this planet. Hopefully for fun. We'll find out.
Yeah, and I always know Connor's actually locked into a game when I see him log on to like Steam, and I'm like, oh, Connor must be streaming. I go into Twitch and he was like, "Oh, Connor's not streaming.
Yeah,
he's been on this game for 3 hours, and he's not monetizing it.
It's so bad because like I literally anytime I get like an hour free, I'll just go in and just fix something because stuff always breaks as well. Because maybe you made the perfect amount of like let's say a steel factory.
Yeah.
But then later on, you forgot about how your steel factory worked. You're like, well, actually, I need more steel. I've got too much coming from this one factory, so I'll just route some of it. Suddenly now you didn't do the maths correctly because it tells you all the math. So it'll tell you like this thing is making 30, this thing's making 40. Maybe you took too much. And you're like, okay, shit, I guess I got to go back to the factory now. But you've already placed all the shit down. So now you're kind of like doing that awkward thing where you're trying to like fix stuff that you only left X amount of room for. And you're like squishing things in and making it all fucked.
Yeah, right.
And then you're like,
engineering.
Yeah, and then I couldn't even, and then this is one factory I have and it's driving me insane because I can't fix it. And I just have to redo the whole thing and I don't want to do that. It's going to take too long. It would take like 2 hours to redo the whole thing. I don't want to do it.
Programmers are like first time.
Yeah, right. I've had to do it so many times that it mentally exhausts me every time I have to do it.
Yeah.
And the thought of having to redo another factory, I'm like, I can't.
Just listening to you like say all of that just like brings me back to like my web coding days, and I'm just like, that's just trauma.
It's kind of coding or lightly because you're like, machine 1 will make like very baby coding.
Yeah.
Like 30. This will make 40. This thing needs 30 of this, 40 of that. So you need to like you have to like figure out how many of each machine you need to optimize.
I was learning about the pains of legacy.
Yeah.
of legacy stuff, which every company has to deal with.
Except normally, I guess you'd be fixing someone else's code. Except in this case, I'm fixing my own fucking problems. And my legacy of 2 hours ago, where I fucked it up.
Legacy of me fucking up.
Legacy of me fucking myself. That's what I'm fixing. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. But I'm nearly done.
Yeah.
I'm on the final phase. I have to just make a bunch of space shit, and then I'm done.
All right.
And then I'm going to make a 4-hour YouTube video that is going to be all narration because most of this footage is just me being like
locking in.
Yeah, I realized that I wanted to, initially I was going to record a little bit and then give it to Mudan.
Yeah.
Like 10, 15 hours worth, which is still a lot. And then I was like, I think I should just beat the fucking game because I want to beat the game because I'm addicted.
Yeah.
And I think it'll make a better video.
Yeah.
Mudan's going to kill me when he sees how much files there are.
And it's not even like usable footage either.
A lot of it's not. But I think the one benefit is that I don't know if Mudan will feel the same, but like I could see what I'm building in the footage. I'd be like, you can skip 2 hours ahead until I'm done. I'll say 5 seconds in voiceover what I did. Yeah. Like, you don't need to show this. I think it'll very, very quickly be chopped down into like, and then I built this, and then I built this. By the way, that was 9 hours of work in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like,
goddamn.
Speaking of games with like long tutorials, apart from Metaphor as well, we played a game with a really long tutorial.
Oh yeah, we did Gloomhaven.
We played another board game. Didus was like, okay, so put things in perspective. When Didus went to England, he talked about one thing, and this thing was this mythical board game called Gloomhaven.
Okay,
right?
I love the name already.
Because we played Slay the Spire. Really enjoyed that, and Didus like, yo, let me sell you on this thing called Gloomhaven, and I'm like, say no more. I'm already sold. Yeah. Proceeds to go on a 2-hour rant about... Okay, so we were on this road trip for 2 hours. Within 5 minutes, I was sold. He continues for 2 hours trying to sell me on a game that I already was playing.
Oh my god, this is the most Didus-ass looking game I've ever seen.
We're playing Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion, which looks quite different from a couple of these.
Which is a little different, which is like the baby version of Gloomhaven.
Right.
Which, if we didn't have the baby version of Gloomhaven, I think we'd...
That's the baby version?
This is
Look
the
how
baby
many pieces
version.
there are.
Yes, I know. This is a baby version of Gloomhaven.
Holy shit.
So I don't think we would have been able to play this if we didn't play the Slay the Spire board game that we previously played. Because this one was on a complexity on another level. I don't think it's that complex, but there's just so much information that you just have to like ingest.
Yeah. I'm looking at this and I'm like, what is anything? It's like,
what is anything?
Yeah, it's like Warhammer with D&D a little bit.
I think the best way to explain how it was that it was D&D, but it had already chosen the character.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like the story you're going on. Well, not actually. It's kind of like D&D in the sense of like you have this character, we all have roles, we do battles, but like all the character stuff is predetermined and all that. Basically how you
right.
Yeah. So they definitely hold your hand through the game, but it's got a very similar battle system to basically every RPG out there.
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate. Or if you played any JRPG, it's a similar turn-based battle system.
Yeah.
Basically, it was basically Fire Emblem for me, except the tiles were hexagonal.
Right.
The difference is playing on a tabletop game, playing an RPG system on a tabletop game, it just takes way more fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't realize how much the computer works out every, like, so many small little details.
In Fire Emblem, it's like they calculate how much damage you're going to do, the chance to miss and everything. But, like, I guess with this one, you got to do it all manually, right?
Yeah, you got to do it all manually.
Oh, my God. That's going to take a while.
With all the same systems.
Right.
But it's a lot, it's a different experience, but it's definitely a lot funner being more involved with it.
I mean, you sold me when you said Fire Emblem, so I'm just like, say less.
it is basically Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
That's what I found when I was playing this game, just
Right.
tabletop style.
Right.
And we played for like a good 6 hours or so.
Yeah.
We went through 3 missions.
we didn't even meet the tutorial.
We didn't beat the
What?
tutorial.
No.
It took us 2 hours to set up the board.
Yeah, because Dom would watch like a 2.5 hour video explaining the game, and then he rocked up and he was like, I don't really know how to set this stuff up.
Because he was like, I played this before. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Normally for this type of game, because it was you with Slay the Spire, where you need someone to just like guide you through the game. So we were like, all right, Didus is just gonna guide us through the game, and he was like, man, I don't remember shit. I played in college.
So we were like, okay.
And he's like,
my God.
all right. You know, and then he turns up and he was like, all right, boys. I think it's easier just to watch this YouTube video explaining it. And we're like, how long's the video? And he's like, all right, there's this guy who goes on explains everything really quickly. And we're like, how long's the video? It's like 30 minutes. I was like,
34 minutes.
34 minutes.
Oh my
That's part one, by the way.
Oh my God.
Part 1 of 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got into it, and I think it almost worked out worse because he had so much knowledge of this game, but the game kind of introduced it in a more linear way that was almost a bit better because it didn't introduce certain mechanics.
Right.
And Didus was like, I know this mechanic, and then it turned out the game was like, actually don't use that yet. And so it's kind of confusing. But there was a lot of stuff to keep track of, and it became a lot more easier as we went.
Yeah.
But it was still very complicated. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, board
looks
games are
fun.
really good.
I don't think it's complicated per se. I just think there is, like you said, a lot to keep track of. But if you've played like a RPG battle system, turn-based battle system, a lot of these concepts are the same. Like you have like your speed, where you know everyone has a certain speed for every attack, and then you figure out the speed, and then you figure out the speed comparative to the enemies. And if there are multiple enemies, then you kind of like have to figure out, okay, for this turn, this person goes first, and this person, this person, this person, this person. All this is done in like a microsecond when you're playing on the computer.
Yeah,
when you're like, just even though that's a simple concept, because it is a simple concept. When you have like 8 pieces, 8 different characters for every turn to figure out, okay, who goes first?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the turn order. Now let's decide on what attack we're doing for this turn. It's a lot.
It was really fun though.
But it was
It sounds fun, yeah.
it was super fun, and
I just need to put away 6 hours to learn how to play it.
Yeah, I kind of realized
Damn.
it's, you know, with Slay the Spire and this, I guess we're slowly starting to getting into tabletop games. I kind of like before I'd be like, I'd hear people who were into tabletop games, they'd be like, oh, we'll be playing for like 6 or 8 hours. I was like, how the fuck you play a tabletop game for 6 to 8 hours?
Yeah.
Because I've only played like, you know, stuff like Risk, you know, very, very simple tabletop games. And then you introduce something like this, which is a totally different kind of like complexity, but it's super fun just to get actually like immersed in the game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And super evolved.
I mean, if you couldn't get immersed in it, then I don't think anyone would sit around for 6 to 8 hours to play it, you know?
No.
I think there's like 25 missions there, and I did 3.
Yeah.
I imagine it would speed
That's
up
crazy.
a lot the more we get going, but
Yeah.
because
Well, I mean, it was most, if not all of you's first time playing it, right? So I think that's where it just dragged a little bit. But if you were playing with like, you know, 5 people who've played it a shitload, I'm sure it goes way faster. But even still, that's a long game.
Yeah, because the first 5 levels are tutorials. and
It's just like Metaphor Event.
yeah. The first 5 levels are all tutorials, introducing you to like all the new mechanics.
Yeah.
And then after the tutorial, they're like, okay, now you can play the game.
This episode is sponsored by Shopify. Boys, when I started my clothing brand, I was like, damn, man, we made so many cool clothes, but how am I going to send it out to people?
What are we gonna do?
How am I going to sell them? I don't know how to do anything online with e-commerce. Thankfully, Shopify was there to make the process so easy.
And nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not so secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%.
Damn.
Meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going cha-ching.
Woo! If you're growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whenever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in the store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify.
So if you want to be like us or like Joey, you should go and get Shopify on your website to make sure that everyone can get your products.
Upgrade your business and get the same checkout nonsense users. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period. That's right, $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/trash. All lowercase. Go to shopify.com/trash to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/trash. Back to the episode.
Become
Jinx.
like us. The worst part is when you're like, what's this rule about? And then like you just cannot find a definitive answer to something in the book, and you're like, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was like, you know, if we didn't have Pete when we did our magic nights
Yeah.
at one time to just guide us through all the different terminology in terms of like, what does this term mean for this magic
Yeah.
card?
It's like every 5 seconds, someone in the room is just like, Pete.
Yeah.
I realized that like if you don't play Magic, some of those cards felt like very hard to interpret correctly.
Yeah, well, that's why I kind of stopped playing a lot of like TCGs, especially like Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, you know, early Yu-Gi-Oh was like quite simple to understand, even for someone who was playing it for the first time. Nowadays, though, like you look at like a Yu-Gi-Oh card like made recently from like a recent deck, the text is so fucking small because there's just like 17 things you can do with this one card, and you just they're like that.
like,
Like,
what the
I don't understand most of this, and I don't know how to use it. And then you combine that with fucking, you know, however many cards in a deck, and you're like, where do I even begin? How do I even begin to learn how to play this if I'm not playing with someone who knows how to play?
Yeah, I'm wondering how long TCGs, like how long a game of like a TCG like goes now comparative to like when the early days of TCG, when I'm sure like
Well, it depends how good and or shit you are.
That's true.
I remember watching a YouTube video about the Yu-Gi-Oh banned list cards, and it was only like 20 whenever it came out, like 2 years of banned cards, and it was 2 hours long.
Yeah.
And the guy wasn't like talking
I think
about
I've seen
it for long.
that video.
He wasn't talking about each card for long. I was like, this is an insane amount of bans for a game. And I was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Rounds in Yu-Gi-Oh trading
40
card games are
minutes.
40 minutes long. Holy, that's
Yeah.
a league game.
Yeah.
That is a league game.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
But like I remember when I first played Yu-Gi-Oh, or I was first playing Yu-Gi-Oh, like a regular game would maybe go on for like, I don't know, what felt like 10, 15 minutes maybe, because there aren't that many things you can do with a single card. But now you have like fusions and like even more like convoluted sacrifices and stuff like that. I'm just like, I don't know how you can sit there for 40 minutes and do all this.
Yeah, well, also it depends on like how long the card game has been in existence for.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm sure like power creep is definitely a thing. Like I'm wondering can you search up how long the average One Piece card game takes? Since that's just launched, right?
Yeah.
Because
That was made, I think, by a guy who was one of like the original guys who made Yu-Gi-Oh TCG.
most skilled players tend to
10 Don? What's
10 Don. I don't know what that means.
the fuck is 10
I don't know.
Don?
I'm a One Piece fan. I don't know what that means.
In the One Piece card game, we don't have turns. We have dons.
We have Dons. I'm guessing that's turns, right?
Wait, hold up. They go for fairly long. Many turns after all 10 dons are out. What's a don?
Maybe a round?
Probably
maybe.
it's. I'm gonna guess it's a turn.
The fuck is it? Why Don?
You know, because I've been thinking about getting into the One Piece trading card game.
I've thought about it too.
Yeah, it's pretty popular.
Don
in
cards
Japan.
are used to play the cost of using a card. Oh, so it's like mana.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you gain 1 mana a turn? I have no idea.
No, you get 1 don.
Oh, sorry, 1 Don. Sorry. 1 Don.
It's like, I will summon Luffy with my 5 dons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've looked into the One Piece card game because especially recently in Japan, it's gotten so big. Like, it's one of the most popular TCGs right now.
What was the most popular card game? Well, what is the most popular card game in Japan?
Right now?
Yeah.
I think it's the One Piece card game, actually.
What was it before? Magic?
Pokemon. Wow. Yeah. For a while, well, actually, it's kind of, there's like a top 3, which has always been like Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, and Pokemon. But then recently, the One Piece card game's gone really big. Duel Masters is really big as well. Vice Schwartz is really big too.
And Yu-Gi-Oh is still really big.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yu-Gi-Oh is still one of the top ones.
Pokemon's number 1, and
Yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Pokemon. I don't.
Wow, Duel Masters is number 3. That's crazy.
I'm surprised. I didn't know Yu-Gi-Oh
Vice
was
Schwartz
still
is
going
more
so strong.
popular than Magic in Japan.
Wow.
That's wild.
Is this just Japan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Japan generally loves home brands.
Yeah, home brands, of course.
And has a tendency for it.
Yeah, One Piece is already 4th now,
Yeah.
above Magic. That's crazy.
Yeah. Holy shit. Okay.
300
What even is Duel Masters? I think I've heard it a bunch, but I've never like actually seen it.
It's kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh, but
That's why my impressions was
yeah.
seeing
Yeah,
it.
it's basically I played a little bit of Duel Masters when it came out. I was in like primary school, I think, when it first started. And it's very similar to Yu-Gi-Oh, but I never got into it enough to like figure out how to play it. I collected some of the cards because they looked cool, and also there was a manga for Duel Masters, I think, similar to Yu-Gi-Oh. That was like very
everything
big.
about this looks like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That the very right one on the top row. That's the manga that I read when I was a kid.
I always wondered, was it Yu-Gi-Oh that basically popularized the meta for trading card game hair? Because
yes,
for some reason, every time I would see an anime, or you can tell when an anime comes from a trading card game.
Yeah,
because they all have the same fucking hairstyle.
1,000,000% it was because of Yugi. Yugi's hairstyle was the like beginning of like, if you play a trading card game, your hair needs to be fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's just
doesn't even matter if you're
egregious.
Doesn't even matter if you're Yu-Gi-Oh. You need to have this kind of like wacky hairstyle.
You need to have a hairstyle that will give hairdressers all over the world an aneurysm just looking at it, just being like, what the fuck is going on?
Cosplayers are just like, no, please no. I don't want to. I don't want to. But yeah, Gloomhaven was a lot of fun.
I want to play it now.
Yeah.
I know it sounds crazy after hearing that there's a 6-hour tutorial, but it's up my alley.
Well, we got to finish our 25 mission.
Yeah, you finish your game first. Hopefully by then I would have...
2 years from now. We'll
okay, 2 years. Easy. I'll learn how to play it by then.
You got to get your board game table.
I do, yeah. I want a board game table.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get that soon?
Board game table?
I want to get it so bad.
Oh man.
Because I asked ProZD, I was like, because he's like the board game guy.
Yeah.
I was like, what is your like top 5 like kind of longish but not like too long? Like, like basically like full day games.
Yeah.
He sent me a list and I was like, Dune. There's a Dune board game.
Like the book.
Yeah, like type in Dune Imperium. Apparently like it's a very, very good board game. And wait, is this the one?
Dune Imperium.
Second one.
Yeah.
But then I looked at it and it said it was quite complicated. It said 3 out of 5 complexity. Meanwhile, I think like Slay the Spire was like 2.
Are you serious? Yeah. That was a 2?
Playing time 60 to 120 minutes.
That always means you double it, is what I've learned.
Yeah.
Whatever that says, you double that.
So it'd be about 2 to 3 hours.
I think you like fight for spice against each other. I think
that makes sense.
Oh, that sounds super fun.
Yeah, it's a game that uses deck building to add a hidden information angle to traditional worker placement. What does that mean?
This all makes sense if you play a lot of board games.
What does that mean?
What I've learned is that they have so much like lingo that is like absolutely... you can't understand it.
I've never read a beginning sentence to that introduces something, and I'm like, what does that mean?
We're just fine for the spice.
All right.
I think there's like resource management, and I think you have to. I don't know. It seems complicated as fuck.
It sounds like talking points.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Whenever you describe a game, you're like, yes, this is a action RPG. Open world, and I'm like, okay, this is just like all.
It's like describing music genres.
Yeah, right.
Look at those little like things. Look at all this.
Holy shit!
This looks complicated.
That looks really.
Then
complicated.
Another one he told me about was I think Project Zomboid. I think you can search it in the same website.
Project Zomboid.
I think it's Project Zomboid. Am I crazy?
Wait, for reference, how long does a game of Monopoly say it takes on there?
That's a good point.
Yeah, what's
look up Monopoly.
Look up Monopoly and look up the game time.
Zombicide, I think it was.
Sorry. Yeah. Monopoly
1935.
Yeah,
holy
sure.
shit.
Sure, just do that one.
Yeah.
That's the classic
OG
one.
Monopoly.
60 to 180 minutes.
That's a fucking lie.
That's assuming everyone knows how to play Monopoly and you start it up.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know how to play Monopoly though?
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like if everyone knew how to play Dune, you know what I mean? I'm sure our game would be fast because no one was going to know.
Yeah, if everyone knew how to play Gloomhaven, it wouldn't have taken you guys 6 hours.
Can you finish a game of Monopoly in 60 minutes though?
Of course you can. Of course you can.
Yeah.
Question is, what was it? I just saw when you started Monopoly, there was Game Monopoly.
What?
Did you see that?
Gay Monopoly? Oh yeah, Gay Monopoly. No, go back. Yeah, at the bottom,
Monopoly,
1983, Gay Monopoly.
Sure.
What the fuck?
180 minutes. There is no lower end on Game Monopoly.
Oh wow, that's really Gay Monopoly.
Wow.
Yo, I want this. That's sick. Wait, what do you buy? Do you buy like the YMCA? Like what?
I don't know. What? That sounds...
Oh my god, look at that fucking dump truck on that dude.
I like how
there's
there's no 60 minutes in this one. It's at least 120.
Yeah.
180 minutes.
This is a strand type game.
Yes.
You're gonna want to lock in.
Given Diana Award for outstanding service to Houston gay community.
What is this?
Oh my god, we need to play this.
What?
We need to play
I can't
this.
believe this exists.
Oh my god, I want this.
Holy shit.
Oh god.
400.
Oh shit. I mean, I guess it is from 1985.
Yeah. This looks like at this point it's an antique, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 40-year-old game.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's scary to think. I love it. Look at the dump truck on the dude on the right. Holy shit.
I like how the board's a circle,
Yeah.
not a square. You know,
I like the square board. Am I crazy?
Yeah. I don't know. The circle looks weird. I'll be honest.
Oh, is it because in a square it's straight?
Joey.
Did I figure it out?
Let's not make.
Did I figure it out?
Let's not make assumptions here.
That might actually be it.
Let's not make assumptions here, Joe.
I found this out. Did you know there was a Bloodborne board game?
No.
Did you know this? And it's like a. Because I've watched like board game reviewers talk about board games, and it's like an in joke because of the amount of like plastic in it.
Wait, look it up.
You can go to the
Bloodborne
same
board
website you're on Game Monopoly. This is just like just type in like Bloodborne. Yeah.
The board game 2021.
It's kind of like
There's also a card game?
Yeah.
So scroll
45
down,
to...
like try and like
Whoa.
get a picture of.
Because I went to this gaming bar and they had a Dark Souls board game as well.
Really?
So
Oh, that's sick.
This
apparently
actually looks
this isn't
dope.
the first Souls type board game. I don't know how you play it. I don't know if it's as hard as a
I heard
Souls
it was
game.
decent.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the figures are cool.
There's like hundreds of them apparently.
Dude, that looks sick. Whoa.
Apparently the box was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
This is like the entry point into something like Warhammer.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Because I never understood what Warhammer was growing up.
Yeah.
And my brother-in-law recently just got into Warhammer. And I'm like, do you play the game or do you just collect the figurines? And it seems like, well, I think I know the rules of the game. But he just spends most of his time painting figurines. You know?
I think it's like quite therapeutic to like,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like kind of painting them.
Well, it seems like Gunpla or something like that.
Yeah.
I guess it's also the equivalent to like, you know, people who collect Pokemon cards but don't actually play the Pokemon game. They just want to collect the cards.
Well, that's just...
AKA moi.
Yeah, do you know how to play the Pokemon
I know how to play the
TCG?
game, yeah. But I don't collect them to play the game. I collect them because they just look cool.
Would you ever bring out your binder if someone's like, I want to play a game of Pokemon with you?
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, I have a deck binder.
Oh, you do?
I do have a deck binder.
You have your own Pokemon deck?
Yeah, I have my own decks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a massive stack of like dupe boxes that I have, which I probably have over like 2,000 cards.
I was curious to see like what the most complicated board games were, and bro, you may as well just get a PhD. Like, I think on this website they rank them like the most complicated.
All right,
board
look
What
it
is
up.
the most complicated board game?
I can't remember what it was, but I remember it was. I was trying to like understand a YouTube video of it, and I just couldn't. I couldn't wrap my head around it.
Advanced Squad Leader.
Okay, it's got an 8 though. Rise and Decline of the Third Reich.
Whoa.
Can you open it? Like, what complexity rating
Whoa.
is it?
4.3.
4.3.
Jesus, look at that map. Look at that map. Look at the map on the fucking pictures.
At this point, are you actually just reenacting World War II?
Oh my god! What's happening?
This is actually just what the war was like, you know.
Yeah. You just- what?
You're just playing real history here.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Oh my, look, dude, those pieces are tiny as
Oh
well.
my god!
Yeah.
I just saw the pieces. I didn't even see
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the. Some people love these kind of games, but this is a bit much for me.
Yeah.
It's a bit much. Where are all of them war games?
I don't know.
So it's
Advanced Squad
probably
Leader, Starfleet
Probably.
Battles,
Oh, Starfleet.
Car Wars,
Star Wars.
the Campaign for North Africa, the Desert War, 1940. Yeah, they're all war games. Europa.
Well, I assume it's just
Oh,
They're
Magic
quite
Realm?
old. Oh yeah, that's a newer one. Click that
Yeah.
one. Because a lot of those games seem very old.
yeah.
4.56.
4.56.
The granddaddy of
complexity.
complex RPG style board games with 16 unique characters from 1979.
Can I see the?
Yeah, let me see the pictures. Oh god, I can already tell. It's fucked.
Oh, it's got like a build your own. Oh,
Personal
look
history
Look at that
pad.
spreadsheet. Oh my god.
Oh my god. I mean, you know, props to people who can like make these games, but
Yeah.
fuck me, man. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my, bro.
I was trying to find
what
out
am I looking
at? The most modern complex game was, because like these all seem like they were born out of more so the time not having the ability to have like maybe like figures and stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe a little easier.
Well, this
annotations.
just comes straight out of like the
That's
D&D
crazy
stuff,
though.
right?
That's literally like my chemistry homework.
What's like the most complex video game you think? Like
In terms of what, mechanics and stuff? Or just like how to play?
how to play, complexity, I guess. I don't know. It's
Minecraft. Minecraft can get pretty
Minecraft,
fucking
yeah,
crazy.
can get
Is
pretty
Minecraft
complex.
The most complex game?
I mean, you can make computers straight up in Minecraft and stuff. So you program. Was it that guy programmed Pokemon? in
Yeah, yeah,
Minecraft?
yeah.
I guess
He also programmed a working mobile phone.
That's right, yeah.
Where he like called himself in the game.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You never seen
okay.
this video?
No.
It's
It's
literally
crazy.
like
No.
like you can turn redstone into a functioning working computer. Like it works as like transistors.
Okay, so you just make transistors and you just
Make a
basically make a
computer.
Turing computer.
Yeah. Oh, it's Captain Sparkles.
Yeah.
He did a
Oh
video
shit!
of it.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
think it had video somehow. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
how.
yeah, yeah. He FaceTimes himself in Minecraft.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's actually crazy what people have been able to make.
that guy. This is like computer programmers going like, oh, what do I want to do in my free time? Let's just program again, just
Yeah.
in Minecraft. this is what I do in my free time.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh my god, that's insane.
He calls himself in the game. That's crazy. He did this 8 years ago as well.
Oh my god.
So imagine what people can do now.
8 years, 16 million views though. Okay.
I'm
Is
sure
Captain
there are
Sparkles?
more
Okay.
complex. I'm sure
Yeah.
there are more complex games, but I think what you can do in Minecraft is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I always like, hearing games like EVE Online. It's always more interesting to hear like the stories about what goes on into the game.
Well, I guess
rather
that's
than,
complex because of more so personal relationships complex, where as opposed to like the in-game itself. But I guess the game allows for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, also, what's the metric of like complex? Are we talking like the button inputs are complex or like the mechanics are complex? Because I feel like, I don't know, it's different for different people, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Because if we're talking
Yeah.
like button inputs being complex, like QWOP is fucked.
Yeah, because like maybe like keeping track of all your World of Warcraft cooldowns is too complex, but maybe dealing with like the interpersonal relationship of like 400 people on EVE Online is maybe okay for you.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe that's but someone else might find that too overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's whatever you.
What does the internet say?
So the
Yeah.
answer is Garnt. It
Super Meat
depends.
Boy,
This is the most
Contra.
difficult.
Yeah,
This
these
is
are
the
most
most
difficult
difficult.
games.
Battletoads. That's
yeah.
That's just for that one. It's just for that one level.
Yeah,
honestly.
the water, the jet ski.
the jet ski level that has
Covenant
fucking-
is not one of the most difficult games.
For some people it is. Ghosts and
Yeah.
Goblins, also difficult. Bloodborne, Demon Souls,
yeah.
Mega Man 9.
Did you play a bit of Sekiro? Is that more difficult than Elden Ring when you played it?
I felt like it was, but I've only played a couple hours. But I definitely recall it being harder. But that also might be because I didn't get that far in it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if this is a hot take, but is Elden Ring that difficult?
What's for me?
Was it like a difficult game for you? Because like the most difficult, I'm about halfway through the game now, and the most difficult boss I fought was the very first boss, the Tree Sentinel.
That was the hardest one for a long time.
Yeah.
Some of the bosses later get really dumb.
Okay. Because
But if you face tanked the Tree Sentinel, most of them are fine. Most of them.
yeah, that 5-hour training arc just went hard because there has been no other boss that has come close to touching
Right.
that first.
Because that one you
experience.
can hit like 2 hits. You don't
Yeah.
have heals. You know, you have
Yeah,
to really
yeah.
like, you can't really get hit.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
Yeah, I can't remember what is like a difficult turn-based game. It's
Difficult turn-based game?
yeah.
Honestly, the most, I think like the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG game is like really fucking difficult, especially in like especially the Game Boy one. I forgot the name of it, but
Right.
the Game Boy Yu-Gi-Oh TCG game, like some of the later levels apparently are considered like fucking impossible. just because like the difficulty spike just jumps up so hard.
I played the Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories.
Forbidden Memories, yeah,
PS1,
yeah.
and that one was fucked.
Yeah, Forbidden Memories is considered like one of the hardest Yu-Gi-Oh games. Just because
I
like
think it's because like one of the hardest games of all time.
yeah, I think so.
It's kind of fucked up because you have to beat like a bunch of these characters, and then you have to beat a like 7 boss gauntlet, and then like the last 2 bosses. No matter what card you place face down or up, they can see it.
Yeah.
So it's just like
It's just unfair.
Yeah, it's just straight up unfair.
Yeah.
And the only reason I beat it is because I had a mod, but another hard aspect of that game is that you only get 1 card dropped, and you pretty much have to get like a couple of cards that have like 0.1% drop.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much like the biggest fuck you, and I'm not really sure if they ever expected kids to be able to beat this.
Yeah. I mean, I played it as a kid as well, and I didn't even get close to coming to like the final 7, just because like it's fucking hard.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Like I was just like, I just want to like be like Kaiba and just like play my Blue Eyes White Dragon, and the game's just like, no, actually, you're going to have a traumatic experience, and you're not going to be able to beat this game.
Yeah, the stream run world record used to be like 20 something hours.
Yeah.
And then now, because some people got like insane RNG, it's down to like 4, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the whole video.
Yeah, it's oh wow.
It's an hour now.
Well, depends on what category, I think.
Any percent is 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's still crazy.
Yeah. What's the 100%?
Oh my god. 3 days.
3 days.
For a speed run.
For a speed run.
Yeah.
And with no RNG maneuver.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I don't think
that's been beaten. Yeah.
Tried.
Well, yeah. I mean, the last one was a year ago. Someone attempted it.
10 years ago, someone
5
tried
hours.
and it took 7 days.
That must have been the first record.
That's
right?
crazy.
Yeah.
Only Americans can attempt this.
Yeah, they're all Americans.
No,
Oh, no. I'm sorry. No, I'm looking at the platform.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, why is it only Americans?
That's still a lot of Americans, though.
I mean, I think normally speedrunners are American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly American.
Mostly
Yeah.
Americans.
But then you see the odd European represent.
Yeah.
True.
You guys been watching or playing anything else recently?
Fuck, I wish.
Yeah, I wish.
I wish.
I wish I could come here and tell you I've had like a cool time experiencing some really cool games. No,
Nah.
I'm building the fucking factory, Garnt.
Yeah.
That's all I've done with my goddamn day.
I'm going through the tutorial still. I'm 40 hours in and they're still bringing new mechanics.
I recently finished the X-Men animated series. The new-
Oh, yeah.
good.
Have you watched that?
I haven't started that yet.
Bro.
It's so good.
I was surprised at how hard it went.
Really?
Yeah.
I've only heard good things about it.
Yeah, because
Some twist where you're like, what the fuck?
Because so X-Men 97, the animated series, I don't remember if that's the name, but it's a direct sequel to the actual cartoon that came out in 97, right? So I can't remember shit. Did you watch the original X-Men
Never watched
cartoons?
it.
You never watched it.
I never
So
watched it
I
either.
watched the original X-Men cartoons. I didn't watch every episode, but it was one of those like Saturday morning cartoons. So I went into it being like, this is a bold move to make a sequel to a 20-plus-year-old series that I barely remember anymore. But they did such a good job at keeping the same energy as Saturday morning cartoons, while also making it accessible to newbies as well.
Because I didn't know shit about it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to watch the original to get into this, right?
No, you kind of get what happens. But it's one thing that really impressed me is they somehow kept the campiness. I don't know how many like Saturday morning cartoons you watch, but they kept like the campiness of like Saturday morning cartoons without making it feel cringy,
Right.
or cheesy. And I was surprised. It has like some of the best character writing I've seen in like a very, very long time. They made Cyclops a fucking likable character, and I did not give a shit about Cyclops most of the time.
Yeah.
Magneto is such a good character as well.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of like dark and depressing at times too. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
It's really well done.
Oh.
Which I wasn't expecting because I thought it was going to be a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, shit, why am I like sad? But it made me realize how much cooler the X-Men are than like most superheroes.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, these powers are sick and these storylines are awesome. Like, this is way cooler than normal Marvel shit.
Yeah. But it makes me wonder, like, what Saturday morning cartoons did you guys watch growing up?
A lot of Cartoon Network.
And is Saturday morning cartoons, is that a 90s thing?
I would say for a lot of people, at least in our generation, like the 90s, there was a lot of peak in the 90s.
Yeah, there was. I remember I saw this tweet, and it was like it was a black guy, and there's a bunch of like people screaming running out of a bar, and he's on a video and he's going, "What? I can't believe everyone left because they just turned off Ed, Edd and Eddy." And everyone's screaming. I don't know what the context. I don't know what the context is. I think he's like making shit up. But like it's everyone's like running out of this bar and fighting and shouting. And he's just like, "I can't believe they turned off Ed, Edd and Eddy." Or like it was something like that. Or like they canceled it.
They found out that Ed, and Eddy stopped playing on the TV, and everybody's wilding now. Ed, and Eddy been canceled for years, yo. That's why I'm confused.
That's so funny.
I fucking love.
I mean, Ed, and Eddy is peak.
Ed, and Eddy was one of my favorite.
It's so good.
It was so good.
Ed, and Eddy,
good.
Dexter's Laboratory as well.
Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah, Powerpuff Girls was back in the day as well.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, that era of Cartoon Network was just fucking goated.
Did you ever go to Cartoon Network online? They had like games.
Yeah.
And I used to spend all day
I used to
playing.
play the fucking Kids Next Door game.
Dude, that game was so
so good.
I remember I could never beat it.
Not me neither.
It was so hard.
Yeah, the Codename Kids Next Door game was so good. Like, wait, this is gonna be a nostalgia hit.
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
that one.
Oh shit.
Dude,
It was the fucking Flash game. It was so
it was
good.
so hard.
It's so hard.
I don't think I ever beat it.
Me neither. I think I got close, I remember.
Yeah.
Also, the Courage game was really scary.
Is that when we used to play tennis with the cat and the pyramid?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Fuck, how do you remember that?
I have this like I remember that like I got like terrified of Courage as a kid.
Oh, yeah, it's scary.
Barophobia.
Yeah, Pharophobia.
There's a bunch of games, I think.
Yeah.
Courage was so good, man.
Courage is so
I
good.
loved Courage. What a game.
No, it made me think, right? Because I look back, growing up in the 90s, I look back on like decades previously. I'm like, damn, the 80s seems so cool, or like the 70s or the 60s. That seems so cool. Do you think people look back at the 90s and think, damn, that was a cool fucking decade?
I think nowadays that we've gotten to that point now where we have a entire generation that was born in the 2000s that look fondly on the 90s, which is like this period that they've only heard about, right? So it's basically, we have a generation of kids now that look back in the 90s the same way us 90s kids look back at the 80s.
Because that feels so weird to think about,
You see all these kids like being like, yo, fucking 90s like Cartoon Network just seemed like,
I was like,
it's so like vintage and like cool, and we're just there like, we grew up on that shit.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, what is cool about 90s culture? I was thinking about what even is 90s culture, and I think maybe like blockbusters, is that 90s culture? Saturday morning cartoons. I feel like it's peak 90s.
I think it's the whole like kind of Y2K look of like old internet.
Right.
I think that whole old internet thing now has become an aesthetic.
Right.
And it's like, and kids look at that and like, kids today, like Gen Alpha, look back at things like MSN and being like, yo, that's vintage and sick.
Like AOL?
Yeah.
AOL Messenger?
No, AOL. They look at AOL and they're like, yo, that's so Y2K. That's crazy.
See, I think 90s right now is in this weird period where I think most people look back and think 90s, that's cringe. At least,
nah. The 90s was sick.
Do they not?
90s was sick. You're only saying that because you experienced that.
You were born in the
Yeah, you experienced that yourself. But like, I think in the same way, like, I'm sure that if we ask someone who was like an 80s kid, right? Or even like a 70s kid, and you talk to them being like, yo, the aesthetics in the 70s and 80s look so sick. I'm sure there are some people who are like, really? It's not that cool. But they're only saying that because to them that was normal, right?
Yeah, because I was, you since we lived in that era, I think about it and I was like, my gut reaction was there wasn't really anything unique about 90s culture. And then the more I think about it, the more I think, maybe there was, because I was thinking, I was trying to think, okay, when I look back at the 80s and 70s and 60s, there seems to be something that very much defines those decades, right? And maybe you can argue that with 90s culture, but I was thinking, what really defines, like, let's say 2000s cultures? or 2010 cultures? Because that's been a whole decade, right?
Yeah.
What's 2000s culture? What defines 2000s culture and what defines 2010 culture? Because
Well,
it
I
doesn't
think-
feel that unique.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like I just don't think there's been enough time, and there hasn't been that like generational switch yet
Yeah.
to see enough to
takes time.
be
Yeah,
able
it
to
takes
look
time.
back on it.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like you literally need an entire at least generation's worth. So that would probably be like what, maybe 30 years.
Yeah.
You need at least like a 30-year gap to really see like, oh, okay, that back then that we grew up on, the kids today are looking at it and being like, yo, that's so like cool, because that's something that I'd never like. The whole fact that like, you know, say like the vaporwave movement became like so big amongst like kids
Holy
today.
shit, I completely forgot about that.
Dude, vaporwave is just that's all 90s shit. And kids today look at that and be like, that's fucking vintage and sick.
Yeah.
And we're looking at it's like,
Well, look at City Pop, right?
yeah, or like
Like,
city pop.
yeah.
You know, like that if you think about it,
80s.
Yeah, that's 80s.
yeah, that's the 80s, right?
That's
But
80s.
like, you know, if you ask someone in the 80s, especially in Japan, right, who was
Right.
around in the 80s when city pop was a thing, they'll just be like, there's nothing special about that. That's just the music we grew up with.
Can you search up what defines 2000s culture?
I got tickets to Tatsuri Yamashita again.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fuck, I need to join you on that this time.
Dude, I'm so hyped. I can't wait. Man's a fucking genius.
Yeah. What culture was the 2000s?
Yeah, see, the rise of the popularity of the internet. So again, it's like, it's kind of, it overlaps a little bit.
Yeah,
so
'cause
the
I'm-
2000s, the Y2K, it's called the Y2K
Yeah.
movement, but the Y2K shit is all like old internet. So
Right.
it's like the beginnings of the internet, the beginnings of like social media, and just like people coming together on the internet to like make cool, like, okay,
I
the
mean-
fucking MySpace
Yeah.
aesthetic. That's 2000s.
I get like super nostalgic for like the thought of like logging in and like talking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you like, because when you had to go to bed, you're like, I gotta log out now.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
maybe you wouldn't be able to come back on until like 5 p.m. the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was always like so fun.
Yeah.
Dude, I miss that.
Exactly.
That
But
was so
nowadays it's like you can message anyone at any time, right?
Dude,
Like,
that was so fun though.
Well, I feel like the more that time goes on, because the reason I thought about it is the more the time goes on, the more I feel like everything is just like homogenized. You know, back then you go on a website and everything had its own like aesthetic and its
Yeah.
own like style, and you know you could personalize stuff. And now everything has just become very clean. I don't know how to
To
describe
be
it.
fair,
It's-
I never liked customizing. So I for one welcome the clean road.
Oh, really? I loved customizing my MySpace page.
I hated it.
No, I totally get it. I think it's like, because like it's this idea of like, now that everybody is so connected on the internet, this
Yeah.
whole idea of like counterculture, quote unquote,
Yeah.
doesn't really exist anymore, because now anybody can access any culture at any time. Whereas like when the internet was just getting started and before the internet, the only way that you could ever know about like different cultures and different movements that were happening was by being a part of it, or like interacting with someone who was in that scene.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why like MySpace, for instance, in my opinion, was like great for that, because it's like you go onto someone's MySpace page and it looks and acts and feels completely different to another person's MySpace page. And you're like, oh, okay, what is this? Like, I just stumbled upon something that's like new and cool and like rogue.
Right.
But nowadays, again, because everything's become homogenized and everybody can access anything at all times, there isn't really like a counterculture anymore. It's just like everything is a counterculture
Everything
now.
looks the same. Everything feels
Yeah.
just a little bit corporate.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
it's like,
just
it's like you're not like there isn't like a standout scene or standout like group or anything like that as much as there was back in the old internet. And I think
Yeah.
it's that aesthetic that a lot of people miss.
yeah.
I was talking to some Japanese people about nostalgia and stuff, and I asked them. I asked them. I was like, "Hey, they're around the same age as me?" I was like, "Have you ever used a rotary phone?" And they were like, "No, we've been used to it since like my granddad."
Yeah.
I was like, "I fucking used one as a kid."
We had I had
house.
one at my grandma's house too.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember we had a rotary phone, and then got rid of it when I was like 9 or 10. So I remember having to do that.
Yeah. I literally had
loved
those
it.
like the black rotary phones with the phone on top.
Yeah,
And you like pick it up and you do the
we had like a beige one.
yeah.
Of course. But I remember they were like, what the fuck? And then I started realizing, I bet we, like the tech that Japan and Europe had, especially around like 80s, 90s, was so different.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
Because my first TV that my parents gave me was a hand-me-down.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a bad thing in general to hand down to your kid.
Right.
But they only gave it to me because it was a black and white, like 5-inch like monitor, but I would still watch it.
Like a CRT?
Yeah, yeah. Like it was terrible, and it was again black and white.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to them. I was like, "Did you ever see like a black and white TV?" It's the same person aged me in Japan. They're like, "No, I've never seen a black and white TV."
To be fair, I haven't seen a black and white TV. Damn. But my hand-me-down TV that I got was like a fat fucking CRT TV that was like the screen was.
Yeah, I would have loved that, but I was watching fucking TV in black and white. I was watching the news.
God damn.
Because my parents just had this old ass TV. I was like, I'll tell you.
It's like, yeah, I'm from the 90s, the 1890s.
Yeah, I guess back in Wales, we literally were living 20 years late. I was using fucking rotary phones and black and white TVs in the 90s. No, early 2000s.
That's so funny.
I was like, damn, I realize now, I'm like, damn, my parents kind of shafted me on the tech side. Not that it mattered at all.
So that'll be like the equivalent of just like whipping out a Nokia 3310 nowadays. You know? I'd be like, I don't have a smartphone. I just got a Nokia.
You know? I've got buttons.
Honestly, think about it.
People do that.
That's actually kind of sick.
Yeah.
you imagine someone just whipping out a Nokia and they're like,
there are some people I see today, even in Japan, that still use flip phones.
Yeah.
And I look at them like, that's like kind of sick. I don't know why.
Oh my God, is that the N gauge? Or is that something different?
Which one?
No, I don't think that's the N gauge.
The game one?
The game
one.
one.
The game
when Nokia
one.
tried making a gaming console, bro.
Oh,
I'm wondering how
man.
many people remember that reference, by the way.
The 3310, what a classic.
We did a challenge of you have to use a Nokia 3310 for like a week.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, are you kidding me? I get to play Snake all day, every day on that little
You can't
thing.
use a normal phone at all.
I think I could get by.
Or what if we should like an hour a day?
Well, actually, I just wouldn't use the Nokia because when was the last time we actually phoned someone? Like,
I prefer phone.
I prefer phone.
no, like actually phoned via a number and not like phoning via a
so this is interesting
messaging
as well
service
because
or phoning via
Oh.
a WhatsApp. or
this is
something.
like a European Asian thing, I
Right.
think. Because like in America, they still call. People still call each other a lot in America.
Yeah.
Do they?
With like the actual numbers.
Yeah.
Because in Europe, we don't do that.
No.
Everyone uses WhatsApp or normally WhatsApp.
I mean,
is some kind
how
of,
many times have you used the actual just like texting directly from your phone without using an app?
Isn't this crazy? Because I realized everyone in America was still using.
Yeah, everyone in America does it. In Japan,
No
everyone
one,
uses
yeah.
Line.
No,
No.
I don't use that. I don't use texting. I can't remember the
Yeah.
last time I actually
No.
texted someone.
The only time I text on my actual phone without
Yeah.
like Line or WhatsApp or anything is when I'm messaging my friends in America.
Yeah, I found it so weird that they still use it there.
Yeah.
The only time I do is when I need to message my bank or something. And they're like, we think your card is fraudulent. Press 1 to make sure that this
'cause-
all these
'cause-
transactions are you.
Because if I'm
That's
getting like
it.
a call from Line and it's someone I know, it's a friend.
Yeah.
If I'm getting
Yeah.
a call from a number, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah,
I don't want to pick up this up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's so many scam callers nowadays as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
Even on WhatsApp, sometimes I don't know how
You
my
get WhatsApp scam calls?
yes.
Oh yeah, I get scam
Yes.
calls a
I
lot.
don't know
I've
how.
never gotten a WhatsApp.
I get scam texts.
Yeah, I
from
get scam
WhatsApp.
texts from
What,
WhatsApp.
what are you guys doing with your number? That's right. This episode's fun now.
I get so like maybe like once every couple of weeks, I just randomly get a WhatsApp notification, and I don't have that many people on WhatsApp because again, most of my friends are online or just text. So, but I have a couple of people that I have just on WhatsApp, and I think every time I hear the WhatsApp thing go off, it's like, ding, or whatever the notification thing is, I'm like, oh, my friends messaged me, and I look at it, it's like, hi, my name is Nicole. I would like to contact you about this job offer you recently looked up for, and I'm like, first of all, who? Second of all, I'm good. And yeah, I've been getting that so much now.
Yeah.
Only on WhatsApp though.
Yeah,
I
only
get
on
it
WhatsApp.
on Skype.
Okay, the fact you still remember your Skype login.
My parents use Skype, so I have to use Skype to talk to them.
What?
They don't want to use anything else. They
I guess better than my
they
dad who
know
only
Skype.
uses email.
They know Skype. They've used it for like 10 years. It's the only thing they're comfortable using.
Damn.
I think Zoom they can use there as well.
Right.
But I hate setting up Zoom.
You got to get
meetings.
them onto Line or something.
Yeah.
Or at least WhatsApp,
Yeah.
Viber,
We do use
maybe?
WhatsApp, but like you can't like video call on PC.
Oh, really? On WhatsApp?
Maybe you can, but I don't think they know how to log into WhatsApp on PC.
Yeah.
You gotta scan a QR code.
Yeah.
I think I'm asking too
Yeah,
much.
that's too much. That's too much.
They're logged into Skype.
They've just
Yeah.
come onto
they
color
ev-
TVs.
Yeah, if they ever log out, I don't know how I'm going to get them back in.
I reckon if I this just sounds like a video idea. I reckon I could spanned a week with the Nokia 3310. I think it would really ground me.
I think I would love
It would be like wouldn't you think it'd be like a great detox?
It would be great. I think the one thing that I would have trouble with is that I would have to like tell people, hey, I'm just not gonna reply to like a lot of shit for a week.
No, you can still reply to shit.
Yeah, just go on your computer.
Yeah, but I'll forget.
Yeah. I get to practice texting again by like, you know,
God,
it's
do you
like,
remember-
I need to input a C, press 1 3 times.
Do you remember text speak?
Yeah.
Text speak?
Yeah, I do.
Whatever happened to text speak?
What is that again?
Well, we realized it's cringe. Being like, thanks you for, and like everything.
Oh,
T and
yeah,
X.
yeah,
you for.
Yeah, for you.
That came more out of necessity.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
you had
true,
the
that's true.
140 SMS.
Oh yeah, because you had to pay for every word that
Like
you
10
texted.
pennies
Yeah.
for like,
Yeah.
not every word, every 140 characters, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see you later was CUL8R. I remember that shit. That was
Yeah.
min-maxing.
Oh man.
Yeah, in Japan they still use a lot of people still use that like keyboard layout, the triple tap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you want like B, you do, well not
Yeah.
B, but like
Yeah.
you know, obviously the Japanese equivalent, you do like A, B, B, and then like in the same. I'm like, this is.
Dude, my cousin still uses that.
You go
and-
fast with it here.
Oh, dude, my
That's so
cousin
fast.
uses it, and I've seen her text her friends. I've never seen a thumb move that fast in my life.
Bro.
It's literally just like. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? How are you texting that fast?
It's a different. Oh man. Yeah.
Just built diff.
They can just Japanese people can just like write a fucking novel. And, like,
Yeah, it's wild.
that's why there's so many light novels here.
I
Because,
know.
Light novelists here because they can just
Yeah,
write on
they
their
all
phones.
write
and
on
just
their phones,
yeah.
That's what they're all doing on
Yeah.
on the train. When you're on the train and you see random Japanese people just like texting on their phone, you're like, what are they texting? They're actually writing a light novel on the train as you speak.
I saw a dude yesterday morning in Shinjuku Station, very busy, very crowded. He's like this on the phone, and he's got his laptop out, talking and like doing work,
Right.
while walking, like
While walking.
while walking through Shinjuku Station, and like transferring. I was like, this guy's mental.
Man
What
is
the fuck?
grinding.
I was like, that's a level of grind set I can't get on. Like that, I've never been that locked in my life. I can't.
He's probably one of those dudes that's like, I wake up at 4:30.
Yeah. Bro just started this gym arc. Yeah. It's over. Like,
Bro, have you seen some like the old videos of like stockbrokers on
Yeah.
like Wall Street where they have like 5 phones just wrapped around
Yeah,
their
yeah,
head
yeah.
and be like, yeah, we sell it, yeah, and I'm just like, this looks like a parody.
Yeah.
And it actually is insane that people used to work like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I look at that and I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I would also be a coke addict if I had to work like that as well. Like, I get it.
Yeah,
That's the only way you
no
can get through.
fucking wonder everyone was wired back
Yeah.
then.
It's like, I would probably have to be as well.
Like the
Have you seen that old video of what was it? Is Robert Downey Jr. He's like a really young Robert Downey Jr. and he went to Wall Street just to like see what it was like, and afterwards he was like, "This is hell on earth." It's like this is one of the worst places I've been to in my life.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I would think the same thing as well.
Oh my god, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Who decides to work this life?
People on that grind set.
really want
Joey.
money and they've got the grind set.
Yeah,
grind
that's
set.
just
Blue
wild.
pop zins and drink white Monster Energy and lock
Yeah.
in.
That's insane, man.
Yeah. It's
Is
not
there,
me
is,
now.
Is there any trash taste audience members
I'm sure
who work
there's
at
one.
Wall Street?
Yeah,
I would like to
probably.
know. It's just fascinating.
How many hairs are you losing out of this dress?
Yeah, right.
I would like to.
Yeah.
I would like to know because this looks like the most stressful job.
Yeah, how many hair transplant appointments are you going to per week?
How many flights to Turkey?
Yeah.
Do you think we as a like species are just getting like less able to spell the more that we rely on like autocorrect and like spell check?
I mean, I don't think we already know that this is a thing, like, and especially in like China, because a lot of people don't. What is it? Because you say the sounds to make you type out the sound. To
Yeah.
make
Like
it
the
work.
character.
Yeah, so a lot
Yeah.
of people don't know how to write the characters. Because
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing's happening in Japan as well, I feel.
Well, people are just knowing less kanji.
Yeah. Well, because it's like when you text now, you
Say it out.
Yeah, you write out the hiragana and then it automatically converts into
Right.
whatever kanji it is. So if you gave them a piece of paper to be like, even if you can read a particular kanji, they wouldn't be able to write it.
Yeah, sometimes like I can text someone and I don't know if I'm using the right kanji, but I just like typed it out with the hiragana and
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is the right kanji.
It's the first one that
It's
came
the
up.
first one that
Yeah,
came
yeah,
up, and it normally 95% of the time is
Yeah.
the right one.
Yeah.
The only time it gets wrong is names.
Yep.
Names is very annoying.
Yeah.
So like, all right, let me pull up oh my God, this
Yeah.
is the Bible of names. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, if you have like a name like, you know, like Korske or something, it's just like 50 different Korskes.
Oh
and I'm just
my
like,
God.
man, I don't whatever. It's my bad if I get it wrong, OG, but like, I don't know which one. I don't know which one of these you are.
Like I've failed when I know the word I want to say,
Yeah.
and then I type it out, and it's so horrendously wrong that even Google doesn't be like, "Did you mean this?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have that sometimes.
I'm just like, I have failed as a human being. And
It's like you start to like sound it out, and you're just like, I think it's this, and then Google's just like, what the fuck did you just write?
I have a spell checker on, right? But like
yeah.
sometimes the spell checker doesn't work because it just doesn't show up.
right.
And I'll know it's wrong because I know I spelt the word wrong.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you how to spell it right. So I just copy the word, paste it into Google, and it'll immediately correct it. And then I just copy that and then paste the correct thing in. And it feels like such a jarring way to do it because the spell check doesn't work always. I don't know why.
I think, is it because the way
Depends on the
you
program.
spelled it is so bad that it just like doesn't pick it up?
Some programs, it does, for some reason, it just doesn't work.
Really?
Line often doesn't work on my PC.
Really?
I don't know why.
Yeah, the line doesn't have a spell check, I don't think, on the PC.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be like, I definitely didn't spell stabilize correctly here. Let me quickly get
The one that always fucks me up is guaranteed.
Oh my God, I hate spelling
I can
guaranteed.
never spell. I don't know how many times. Every time I'm like writing something up, and in my head I'm like, all right, I just have to spell
Necessary, I
guaranteed.
always fuck up as well.
Yeah.
Necessary,
Anything with a double name, even if it's something simple like overrated, which I'm always like, is it overrated or overrated? Which one's the double word? I always forget, and I somehow always get it wrong as well.
Yeah.
Or that always fucks me up. Can you guys also like do you guys have the skill to like type without looking at your keyboard?
Touch type?
Yeah.
I can't touch type.
Because I did a stream and it was like a quiz where it's a Sporkle quiz and everyone's like, oh, Garnt can't type without looking at his keyboard. I was like, is this a normal skill? Because
It depends how terminally
I think it's
online
meant
you
to
are.
be normal nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
Can you do it?
No, I don't think so.
Because I can maybe do it, but I'm like, I'm
If I do it,
definitely
I'll
not
make a lot of
close to like
mistakes.
100% accuracy.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
like
definitely make
80%.
mistakes. I'll definitely
Yeah.
make
Yeah,
mistakes.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I've always wanted to learn how to do it, but I'm also just like, I mean, is there that many situations in my life where I need to have my eyes away from the keyboard? It's like,
All I need to know where
really.
WASD is at all times. And I
Yeah,
do.
yeah. My left hand knows exactly where WSD is. My right hand knows exactly where the arrow keys are. It's like that's
And
all
1,
I
2,
need.
3, 4, 5, 6.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And those
I know
spells.
that. Yeah.
Spacebar.
Yeah.
Got that one down.
Spacebar, left shift.
X and C.
Yeah,
as well.
X and C,
E,
left
Q.
shift. I know all those.
all
That's
those,
all I need.
That's all you need as a gamer, baby.
But no, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Is it a normal skill now for, I guess, like,
Yeah, because we
this
have-
generation? You
think so.
reckon?
I don't
think
know.
so.
We had like one class that taught us how to type.
We didn't have any.
Did you not have
Yeah,
any?
we didn't have any.
It was like one class in school. One way to improve typing is by touch typing.
Less than 20% of people can touch type fluently.
Bro, have you seen what is it called again? The like stenography or
Oh,
something like
that
that.
shit's crazy.
That shit is like magic to me.
What is it?
Where
What the courtroom people use to write all the dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
It's like way less buttons.
Yeah.
it's
But it's
the
all
way-
about like the combination.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you hold down like a GSZ, it might like do the word automatically. So
Yeah.
you can type super quick because all you need to know is the combination.
I have seen a dude who made like a stenography
Yeah, just show the video.
keyboard where it was like one-handed and he could basically write at the same speed as him talking.
that's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, look, like it's basically at the same speed.
This is just
as,
magic for me.
Yeah.
man.
Like how do you even learn how to
Kind
do
of like
this?
playing the piano.
Yeah, it looks like it. It almost looks like as much dexterity as playing.
I don't know,
some
man.
simple songs,
As someone
man.
who can play the piano, this is nothing like playing the piano.
Joey, as someone who can't play piano, this is exactly like playing the piano.
Nah,
Actually,
this is more magic than playing the piano.
This is such a hard, like the thing that scares me most about this is like obviously he said like word. You just type in word. You have to hold down all the letters. In my head, I'm going to be like WORD.
Yeah.
You know, like, so I think I would be very slow with it.
But I guess in a sense, like, you know, being proficient at a keyboard, whether it be this kind of keyboard or regular keyboard, is basically kind of like being proficient at piano. Like, you just have to fucking remember exactly where everything is.
just have to learn it.
You just have to practice. Yeah.
I think piano is the hardest one of the hardest instruments to learn. As a music guy,
I think it's one of the hardest instruments to learn, but also it's one of the best instruments to learn if you're starting off, because so many other instruments rely on the knowledge of what you would learn playing a piano. Like, you learn so much music stuff from a piano that you can't really learn from other instruments. And I feel like the knowledge you gain from learning a piano first helps out with learning every other instrument. Whereas if you learn guitar first and then you go to piano, I feel that's way harder to learn than the other way around.
Oh yeah, pianists are like magicians to me.
Would this help you learn piano?
Maybe.
Looks like it'd help you.
It helped me type faster.
Yeah.
That reminded me. This story is so funny. But I have a friend of mine from Australia who works for like a travel agency. I don't remember if I've told this story or not. But he works for a travel agency, and his job is to kind of like get the information, like the passport information of the client to put it into the system, get the flights sorted, all that kind of stuff, right? So he obviously learning, being in that position, he meets a lot of people with like very interesting names. And there was one guy who was telling me this story. It's gonna sound so bad, but it's so funny. He was like, yeah, so there was this Australian-born Chinese guy who wanted to take a trip to Japan. And so, he was like, can you like sort out some kind of like, tour schedule for me? And he was like, yeah, sure. I just need your passport information. So if you could like, scan in your passport, we'll put it into the system and we can start working on it. This next day, the guy sends in, he's like, okay, this is my passport scan. And he looks at the guy's name. And like, I couldn't believe it until he actually showed me a photo. This dude's name.
No.
I swear on my life, this dude's name was David Ching Chong Bong. And I was like, you've got to be shitting me. That is awesome. But also, my friend was like, I have so many questions. First of all,
bro, every time he goes to the West, people are like sweating. They're like,
yeah, they're like, first of all, so where does your surname start? Like, are you Mr. Bong? Are you Mr. Chong Bong? Or are you Mr. Ching Chong Bong? Like, how am I, or do I just call you David? Also, why do you have the most whitest name with the most Chinese surname imaginable? And I'm just like, every time I just think about that name, I'm like, that has got to be one of the greatest names ever. Like, David's parents were cooking when they came up with that name.
Oh man,
it's so good.
I was just imagining if he's called Chong Bong,
Mr. Chong Bong
as his surname.
Yeah. So it's like, is Ching Chong your middle name, and you're Mr. Bong, or are you like Mr. Ching Chong Bong? I genuinely want to know.
I'm fucking number toddler.
Dude, I was crying the first time he told me the story.
This reminds me of me and Chris playing GeoGuessr. We were just laughing at all the funny British town names.
Oh yeah,
just Cockermouth and Wetwang.
Or do you not live near any like funny town names?
No, they're all Welsh, so they don't really look funny.
I had that same experience when I stayed at that like prison with Chris, and obviously because we were going towards Bath, and along the way I'm just looking at this GPS at all these fucking British town names. I'm like, who decided that a town name called Ham was a good idea? It's just so funny. It's just like Ham.
There's one town name where I just read it as Dick on Son.
It's just like you have to look up some of these like British town names.
I took you to Devil's Dyke.
Devil's Dyke. That, oh my god, that's so funny.
Every American sweats when they hear that name.
Devil's Dyke.
Shitterton.
Shitterton.
Great snoring.
Hey,
Butthole Road.
Three Cocks Lane.
Finger Ring Ho.
Oh, no way.
Oh, I also live next to Cuckfield. That's
Stone.
Oh, I love Dull.
Three Cocks Lane. Slots Hole Lane.
Oh, and then there's
Sandy
the
Balls.
Crackpot.
Bell End.
Yeah.
I love it.
And obviously that's the long Welsh name as well.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, just become a tourist attraction now because of the name.
Butthole Road.
Yeah.
Butthole, like why? Some dude like founded this like land and he was like, I proclaim this place Butthole Road. It's like, why?
We are just weird, aren't we?
Yeah.
I love
Weird.
it.
Oh god.
Sluts Hole Lane. What a name. Yeah, I saw everyone in England I know lives next to somewhere weird sounding like this.
I love it.
I'm surprised Australia doesn't have something like that as well.
Oh,
Like,
it does.
You guys do, right?
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
We
guys-
have some. We look up weird Australian town names. We have like what are some famous ones? Banana is quite famous.
Bull's Head Reserve.
Oh yeah, Bull's Head Reserve. Yeah. I live near a place called Chinaman's Knob.
What the?
Look it up.
What the fuck?
Chinaman's Knob. That's a real place. K-O-N-B.
Oh,
Yeah, Chinaman's Knob, Australia. That's a real place.
Oh my god.
Yeah. See,
Chinaman's
it's a real place.
What? Wait. How drunk were they when they made?
It's just like this fucking mountainous area. Bald Knob as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Chinaman's Lane. See?
Oh my god. What were they on?
I don't know what they were
What
on.
were they on?
I was like, imagine we were skiing and then there was this old Australian man who came out to me. He's like, "Oh mate, I've been looking for a Chinaman." And we're like, what?
Say that again?
Yeah. I was like, huh? He's like, yeah, I've been looking for a ramen, mate. It says a Chinaman there. And we were like, what? What? I was so confused. Boing,
Yeah.
boing.
Oh, boing boing, yeah. Quality knob. What a knobby.
my
Oh yeah,
God.
Mossy Nipple Bend.
Boobs flat.
Boobs Flat.
Bombunga.
Bombunga.
God.
Nowhere else.
Fowler Bay.
Oh, well, we found our next road trip, boys.
Yeah.
We found our next Aussie road trip right here.
Well, I mean, there's also
Well, it wasn't there last year, Cave. What?
Bogan Place.
Shag's Head.
I mean, there's also
A lot of these are in Tasmania. What is going on in Tasmania?
Oh, dude, Tasmania's just another bullshit hill. That's in South Australia. There's also Eromanga, right?
Yeah, that was Eromanga as
Cockwash
well.
Creek.
Which
Yeah.
came before, obviously, Eromanga Sensei.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Stink
it has,
hole.
I'm sure it has its own thing, going on there. Isn't that just like a mining town or some shit like that?
Yeah, it's an abandoned mining town. So it comes from the local language. It means something. I don't know, but I think there's like 20 people who live there now. Look at this place. That's Eromanga.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing going on.
Nothing going on. Jesus.
Population of 98.
98. Wow. According to 2021 census.
God, I can't imagine living in a. See, as a city boy, I can't even imagine living in a town just that small. Like, I don't know. Is it weird knowing
What do they do?
knowing everyone in your neighborhood, or just
Yeah.
There we go.
'Cause you came from a small town,
Welcome
right?
to Eromanga, furthest
Not
town
that
from the
small.
sea.
That's another level of
Yeah,
small.
that's another level.
Yeah,
That's like you
true.
actually know everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, look, that's the hotel.
What do you even do?
Nothing.
Like
Yeah.
what's work?
Just you go mine. You get
Telework?
shit faced.
Yeah, you go to you stay at the hotel. You go to probably the one pub in town and just I don't know.
Shit faced.
Get shit faced and forget that you live in Eromanga. Oh, there's a giant dinosaur like tour.
The fuck?
Oh, there's
my
we can
God.
go to the Eromanga Natural History Museum.
Oh my god,
And-
bro.
Sick. Well,
Well,
we know where we're going
This is
next.
the place where they used to just like dig tunnels if they wanted like extra room.
No.
There's a town in Australia where they would just dig fucking tunnels.
No, I think that's in the Northern Territory. I think that's close to like Uluru.
But then the government stopped them from doing it.
Yeah,
They're like, please stop
yeah.
digging tunnels. You
Yeah.
might die.
Yeah, because Eromanga I think is in Queensland. It's in like central Queensland.
Yeah. They were
Cuba,
like,
Cuba
like,
Pedy.
they look like a set from Star Wars because they'd be like, oh, I want another bedroom.
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
you
yeah.
mine another
Cuba,
bedroom
yeah,
now?
Cuba
yeah,
Pedy.
yeah.
You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this place is quite famous. This is the Cuba Pedy mines. That's kind of cool. I want to go to it. It's just I cannot be fucked
I would not
to
want to be in
travel
that. That
all
looks like a
way.
liminal. Go top left. Look at that liminal space. No, above it.
Yeah, the fucking banquet hall.
Yeah, the banquet hall. This is like a perfect horror setting. Look at that. That's
I love that.
that's horrifying.
That's so
I just,
sick.
No, I don't think I would. I think you'd have to pay me a lot of money to go in that cave.
I'd go.
This is like where a horror scene, like a scripted, like where you interact with the.
This is Midsummer if it was set in Central Australia.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like someone's getting
It
sacrificed on
does
that
just look
table.
like Dune.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at that.
That's so sick though. I love that. How far away is it again? How far away is Kuba Pedy? It's really far away if I remember correctly.
Because it's too hot, right, to build stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess also.
Because it's like
That's so sick though. Look at that.
how far away is it? From like
Not like.
no, that's far. From like Adelaide. Do it from Adelaide.
Drive.
Yeah. Drive from Adelaide. How long will that take? 9 hours.
Look at all those roadworks.
You're basically just following the highway for 9 hours.
It is kind of crazy how long the highways are.
Mm.
They really went ham, huh?
They went ham.
So I had my first experience getting refused service at a bar in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I forgot about this until just as I was like going to pee.
What happened?
Yeah, so like it's weird because I've been living here 5 years, and you know, we've talked about this, you know, this thing before on the Trash Taste podcast, but I've never had it happen so blatant before and so openly. Because normally, you know, sometimes you go to a restaurant and then they are very subtle about it, right?
Right.
They're like, oh, sorry, we fully booked, or we're like full, or members only, you know, something along those lines. You know, so that's kind of like what I've seen before and what I've experienced before. No, not really that big of a deal for me. But this time, so we went to a bar, and it wasn't like it was like in a remote area. It was in a pretty busy area with, you know, sometimes you get some like foreigners there and stuff like that. So I don't know if like the tourist thing has like just changed things up at all.
Right.
So I go in this bar. We speak, you know, we're speaking Japanese. It's me, Sydney, and a friend who's visiting from England, who is Vietnamese. So we go sit down. This bar is like completely empty, by the way, aside from like one other person in the corner. And they asked us for our order. And so I order Nama, right? Which is like, you know, the on-tap beer, right?
Give me beer.
Just give me beer, baby. And they say they don't have any beer. And I'm like, I see a tap right there. That's when like, oh, this is a bit weird. That's like, okay, I'll just get a lemon sour then. You know, typical Japanese drink that you can order at most bars. Sydney
Everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah. Sydney also orders a lemon sour, and then our friends, I don't know if this is weird to order at a bar, or if this was like, or if this is like alerts or something. He orders an umeshu soda.
That's very, very normal.
Which
That's
I thought
normal.
was very, very normal.
I think every single bar will have an immersion.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
100%.
But for some reason, when my friend ordered the umeshu soda, the lady looks at us and goes, "Are you Japanese?" Like, as like literally, like,
Okay.
like, are you like Nihonjin? Yeah. Like those words, and we're like, no, we're not. And then she says, sumimasen, kotowaru. And I was like, what? I thought, yeah, right. Which, if you don't know or you haven't watched JoJo Part 4, it just means I refuse. You know?
Damn, you got Kishibe Rohan, bro.
I got Kishibe Rohan.
Damn.
And that, I was just like,
What?
damn. Okay.
Wait, so are you telling me this bartender lady was gatekeeping you from having an umeshu soda because you weren't Japanese
I
enough?
don't know what the
It
fuck the
fucking
umeshu
sounds like
soda. What? Because I was like, okay, if I order like a fucking margarita or something, or fucking tequila sunrise, you know,
She was like,
okay.
you must be this Japanese in order to
yeah.
order an umeshu soda.
So I was like, this is I'm not pretty chill. Even I was like, damn, that fucking hurts a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
that's just shit.
Yeah. And to be fair, to preface, this is my first ever time experiencing something like this after 5 years of living in Japan.
Oh, it kicked you out?
Huh?
They kicked you out?
Yeah. They just basically they said that we refuse service, and they, you know, I am direct translating because they literally said Sumimasen kotowaru.
Yeah.
They literally said that to us. So we literally got refuse service. And Sydney didn't do the very smart thing, and she's like, I'm so angry. I'm going to tweet about this. I'm going to vent. And I'm like, Sydney, don't do this. Don't do this.
Yeah.
And the Twitter response was like super fucking weird, as it always is going to be, as it always is going to be. So it's you know when something hits the algorithm, when you start seeing these really weird tweets. So she just wanted to vent, right? She just wanted to vent about this thing that happened in Japan, and then it got turned into this really weird Twitter tweet that people were using this tweet to be like, oh, you know, based Japan based, or you were probably just overselling the story, and some people are like, wow, I knew it, every Japanese has turned racist or something like that. And it was like, I was like, what is happening? What is actually happening right now?
There are multiple takeaways you can take away, and those two are not.
Yeah. Twitter is like the land of like where nuance is just not a thing.
Yeah, it turned into like this tweet being like everyone has turned this tweet into like an agenda. And I was like, this is
it's the two extremes. Always.
This is super fucking weird.
Yeah, like those two sides of the coins will see that tweet and they'll feel validated in both their sides.
Yeah,
when it's like it's both of you are wrong and both of you are completely far.
It's completely circumstantial.
Yeah,
and it just happened to be in a bad way this time around. But like that does not justify that, like, oh yes, Japanese racist woman based. Like, what? No, that's shit.
Oh man, yeah.
I will say though, I think, you know, I've been seeing a lot of people, and I don't know if you guys agree with this, but I've been seeing a lot of people saying that Japan, in a lot of ways, has changed since like the over tourism thing. I
would assume so. Considering
in like a good way, in some good ways and some like very questionable ways. And that story is definitely the more like questionable one, where they're just like, I think some Japanese people have just gotten a little bit too comfortable with being racist, basically, and just like being unfair towards like someone who may be conceived as like a tourist or a foreigner. And it's just like, just because they're a foreigner doesn't mean they're a tourist, you know? And just because they're a tourist doesn't mean they're shit customers.
And just, there are, it's unfortunate because like, I feel like a few bad eggs in like, you know, people being not respected, not respectful to Japanese culture, just with how many people are just coming in right now. It's kind of, it's just like a kind of a sucky situation where, you know, still hurts where that happened to me, but I kind of see where the build-up comes from and where the frustration comes from.
It's give and take. Japan also definitely loves to scapegoat foreigners a lot too. I mean, when the rice shortage, recently Japan had a rice shortage, which is due to like a number of reasons, none of which are due to foreign tourists eating too much rice.
Yeah.
And there were articles where they were blaming tourists who were eating and taking all the glorious Japanese rice home with them because it's so good they had to take it home.
Right.
Taking our supply. The truth in the matter of the fact is that rice consumption in Japan has been going down year on year because people like pasta, people like bread. They're discovering these new foods that are amazing because pasta is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And so Japan has too much capacity to make rice, and the government subsidizes these farmers to not grow rice because they want rice prices to remain pretty stable.
Yeah.
So they have this problem where they have the ability to make way too much rice, so it's so heavily regulated on how much rice is being made. And so that's why the rice shortage happened. And because there was obviously during the typhoon, there was a slight dip in the production and then panic buying, which caused the shortage. Nothing at all to do with tourists. At all, not even remotely. So why did they come up with this solution, and why were they so willing to say it publicly?
Well, because again, it's as you said, it's like it's an easy scapegoat, especially for a lot of people who don't know any better and people who are like, oh, let's just take this simplest solution to try and like sidestep the actual problem at hand. It's such a Japanese thing to do.
I love blaming tourists for shit more than anyone, but sometimes it's really annoying. I'm like, come on, can we actually like just blame them when they do something shit?
Yeah. Can we actually like get to the root of the problem instead of being openly racist?
Like this is crazy. Like how the hell this was allowed to be like a public statement? Is bewildering. There was some other shortages as well. They also blamed on foreigners, which again also had cheese. Japan's cheese shortage apparently was foreigners. I'm like, okay, now that's...
I swear every week.
Now, your rice, I could understand why you would want to make a racist remark. Your cheese?
Yeah.
You think we're stealing your cheese?
Yeah. It's like, your cheese isn't even that good.
Bro.
Ain't no one taking your mid-ass cheese.
I think so, at least. I can't remember. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even if there was a cheese shortage, to blame it on foreigners is, I swear, like, recently, every week there's like a new article. Like, Japan has a potato shortage now. They have I think they did have a potato shortage, didn't they, at one point? I just randomly threw that out, but I think we actually did have a potato shortage at one point.
I think that's due to the fact that, like, a lot of Japanese products are only allowed to be made with Japanese potatoes, I think.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think the crisps have to be made with Japanese potatoes, I think, or they just like to. I don't know.
I don't know.
So I remember pizza potato was gone for a long time.
Yeah,
Very
well,
popular.
McDonald's was like running into the problem of
yeah.
like not enough fries, right? Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I remember this article. Did they blame this on the
No
foreigners?
fries in McDonald's?
Let me guess. Did they also blame this on foreigners just love McDonald's fries?
Well, we do. Let's be real.
Oh,
Joe.
I think that's imports that when something happens. Those are imported from America.
Right.
I don't think McDonald's has a. We must use.
We
Japanese,
only use Japanese potatoes.
I think they use whatever fucking works and whatever's cheap.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. But we went to another bar after that. I met up with you guys after. You didn't stop you guys from having a good time.
Nah, we still had a good time.
It
was like just a small speck on a wider, great all-around night. And this
Did your friend manage to get the umeshu soda in the end?
Yes, he did.
Thank God.
Yes, he did.
Good
You know who didn't refuse us? Girls' boss.
Yeah, well, of course.
So I had another dinner thing, and I was like, hey, I'll come hang out with you guys when I'm done.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you guys drinking? And they were like, oh, same girls' bar as last time. Last time being the one that
you scammed me out of, yeah.
I also got scammed as well.
Yeah.
We both got scammed.
Yeah.
You more so. But
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to go back to that bar. One, because they scammed the fuck out of us.
Yeah.
It was way too expensive.
They didn't scam the fuck out of us.
They
you
scammed.
keep saying they scammed the fuck out of us. All they did was ask Connor
scammed
specifically,
me.
can we have a drink? Which means, can you buy us a drink? And Connor just doesn't know how to say no.
Okay.
He just doesn't know how to say no.
That is true. However, their prices per drink were ridiculous.
But you
you're
could have
at a
said
girls'
no.
bar. You could just say no.
So ultimately, I was the one who got scammed the most.
Yeah.
Is it a scam if you just consent to the scam? There's no.
To be fair, we don't know. It is complete fucking roulette. We don't know how much they're charging for a drink.
No, but girls' bars is usually like
you can-
fucking 5-10 times the price of a regular drink.
I know.
Here's the thing. He didn't buy a drink for just one girl. He bought a drink for like all of the girls.
Oh, this motherfucker's trying to impress.
No,
Yeah.
Right? That
Yeah.
is not true. Because I'm sitting there and I'm really awkward because like they're just like staring at us. And I'm like, please stop staring at me. Just take a drink and leave me alone.
I don't know, man. That 5-second footage you took said otherwise. You were just
that
come play on the
that was when Garnt egged me on. So that was, yeah. But then, okay, so we went
There's
to
always a caveat.
there is a caveat. I'm full of excuses.
Yeah.
We went to another bar and I showed up and I was like, I don't want to go back to the same bar because they're going to rinse me again.
Yeah.
And so we went to this other bar. It was so weird.
Yeah.
We go in and it's just like strange vibe. You can tell that they didn't want us there initially.
Yeah.
They were very much like, did you come to the wrong bar? Even like two dudes sitting there like with like a grin on their face, these two businessmen. They were like, I think you found the wrong bar, guys. Right. And of course, Sydney's like fucking like a bulldozer. Like, I didn't find the wrong bar. I'm right where I want to be. Sits down. I'm like, all right, okay. And then I was sitting there and I saw the price. I was like, how much? How much do you think that 40 minutes of all you can drink cost?
40 minutes of all you can drink. And this per person?
Per person.
Okay. Well, I've never actually gone to a girls' bar before, so I don't know. But just off the top of the head, maybe, I don't know, 3,000, 4,000?
It was like 4,500 or 5,000.
It's 4,200, I think.
Okay, fuck.
That's fucked.
For 40 minutes.
Yeah, because at an
whatever happened to our-
izakaya, you can get like 2 hours or you can drink for maybe like 2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever happened to the nice round, like we I think we all understood as a human
Why
race.
40 minutes?
Yeah, it's 30 or 60.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Yeah.
We have never been into this 40 minutes nonsense.
Yeah.
Right? Just pick 30 or 60.
Yeah, I don't have
Adjust the price
I don't
accordingly.
have a 40-minute internal clock. That's not how that works.
But this time I actually didn't buy them. I didn't buy them drinks.
Right.
I was like, I'm
You learn.
I was like,
Because you're
I'm not.
sober this time as well.
Yeah.
And it was horrible because I just had to like, it's just it's a terrible vibe if you're not buying drinks, by the way.
Yeah.
Because you literally, they're standing like right here and you're drinking your drink and you're like, don't look up, don't look up, don't look up. Because if you look up, they're going to look at you like, where's the drink? You know?
Then you can just be like, who?
And I feel like, I'm like, is everyone else just like immune to this cringe? Because I'm looking and
Well, why do you think I've never been to a girls'
I know,
bar?
I know.
Because
For me,
I listen to these stories and I'm like, that doesn't sound fun.
It's not. It's
Overpriced and it doesn't sound fun. It's like, why would you go?
So like I'll be like watching, like our British friend will be there, and I'm like, yeah, you don't see like just waiting for you to offer a drink. I feel like he's immune to it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you don't sense the awkwardness.
Yeah.
And that's why I buy drinks. I'm like, get the fuck away from me. Leave me alone for 5 minutes. Christ.
Yeah. No, I've never been enticed to go into those places.
That's what makes you just like not immune to these scams.
No,
right?
I know. Because the awkwardness is killing me.
So when they're like, when they figured out, he just says yes to every time they ask. All these girls just crowd round.
It's
like a queue.
It's like that meme with that guy being like, I'll pay you $100 to fuck off. Yeah. I'm like, please leave me alone. Like, I don't mind a little bit of chit chatter, and some of it can be fun depending on the vibe.
Yeah.
But when I know that one, I'm getting rinsed just to sit down, and then I'm gonna get a doubly rinsed just to like give you a drink and maybe like make small talk, I'm like.
Also, like, I've always found it weird. It's just like these girls' intentions. You know? Like these girls' intentions isn't to have a fucking nice chat with you. It's to rinse you out of a fucking overpriced drink for like 5 minutes.
And look,
then pretend like you're important.
I'm sure there's a world where those two things can overlap, where they want to get the money and like because they're just working.
I mean, if you're like a regular there, you know, and
yeah.
and you've known them personally, maybe.
But this girl I went to also was definitely not like a double one.
No, it definitely was.
It was like more of a. It was. They were all wearing like Virgin Killer sweaters.
Yeah, the Virgin Killer sweaters. And I was like, I was like uncomfortable here.
But like,
that was,
I don't know. This is 2017.
I know, right?
I don't know how Sydney is immune to this. Sydney feels like no shame and is like just able to have a good time. And I'm like, oh God. And these two gross businessmen next to me. The woman like leans over to write the check, and like I guess like her boob pops out or something. Right. And these two like 50-year-old men are like, right, you're looking at this, you're looking at this. And I'm like, this is so gross. I'm losing my mind. Yeah. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
God.
Well, as someone who's been,
are we done? But then the next bar was much better.
Yeah, as someone who's been dragged to many girls' bars, going out with Sydney, the best ones are the ones that like just aren't lewd.
Yeah. Because the second one we went to was chill.
Yeah. Because there are some ones where they do just like Sydney went to a bar where it's like the worst girls' bar, where it's just like all of these girls that are working there, they just like they want to have a job where they can just like be themselves and just have a chat. And the girls' bars were just ended up being the perfect job for them. Part of the recruitment process was they needed to provide a picture of them getting blackout drunk and just having like a shivia meltdown.
Damn.
That was part of like the job recruitment process.
Fair enough.
Because they, talking to them, they were like, yeah, office jobs just like weren't for us. We just wanted to have a job where we could just,
just want to get lit.
Yeah, we just didn't want to be reserved. We just wanted to be ourselves. And it was just like, it was a good vibe because you could tell they were just people who just love their jobs.
Honestly, for a country that kills individuality, we need more places like that.
Yeah, right.
Well, the second one I went to was great. It was like they were all, it was 2,000 yen for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Don't know why 40 minutes again.
Still a little bit overpriced, but better than the last one.
But I mean, like for that, it's not bad. They weren't pressuring us all the time to buy them drinks. They were like, hey, can we have a drink?
Because it's the lewd ones
Yeah,
where
the
they
lewd
pressure
ones,
you,
yeah.
where they like
Yeah, of
wear
course.
a costume.
They
or
were all like
something.
really like nicely dressed, and we walked in. These two businessmen were like, "Yo,
Yeah.
what are you guys doing here?" I was like, and then I told him I was from UK. He's like, "Football." I was like, "Yes,
Yeah.
football."
Football.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
much better vibes.
Yeah.
So much better, and it's like good.
It's because the lewd ones, I think, have just like figured out the formula where it's like, if we just pop a titty out, they'll buy us a drink.
I guess
It's like men are stupid. They know. It was like, we just a couple of titties and we'll be all right.
it's just so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't imagine being like. I guess it's kind of like what strip clubs are in a way. But
Yeah.
I've also never been to a strip club.
I mean, I've been to a strip club and it's not fun.
If I was like
It's
50 years
awkward.
old, right? Presumably that's what's like, getting them riled
Yeah.
up. I'm like, why would you want to go and get like rock hard with your like co-worker or like businessman, like perving on girls? Like, I just
I don't
couldn't
know
imagine.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, like porn is free. It's just
there's
if I wanted to get rock hard, I'll do it by myself.
Yeah, I love you
Yeah.
boys, but there's no part of me
Yeah.
that wants to get rock hard with
Yeah,
you guys.
I'm not blue.
me
Like
neither.
I love you guys. I love, like boys, I love you, but I'm not blue ballsing myself in front of you. Like it's
like I just don't get it. And, like maybe it's one of those things that when you turn like 60 and Asian that you just know. But like,
yeah, it's just
I
like
don't think he's even 60 and Asian. You know?
like, but it seems like men here just are into that. Like,
Yeah.
I
well,
don't know.
men in the West are into that as
Yeah,
well.
that's
You go
true, that's
to
true.
people who go to
Yeah.
strip clubs.
I feel like it's way less common though. I don't know if I'm.
maybe because there's less facilities in the West.
I don't think so. Maybe
Think
less
so?
common in the circles that we, in the friends that we keep. But certainly, sometimes I go out with, friends from, friends from like
Yeah.
back home or friends from university, and they're like, "Yo, strip club," and I'm like, that's just not my vibe.
I don't even know how to find a strip club in the UK. You just Google it. Is it like what?
What do you mean you don't know how to find a strip club?
I feel like it's pretty obvious from the front.
It's pretty obvious.
Oh right. I
Yeah,
guess you just walk around, find it.
Just walk around in the city center, look for a gentleman's club. People in black suits out the front.
Yeah.
And you probably have seen it. You just don't know that it's a strip club.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I wonder what this place is. Probably a strip club.
Oh my god.
It looks upper class. It looks very high class from the outside
Yeah.
when you go in, and it's like, oh, this
Very
is,
classy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
so
classy.
classy.
Very classy.
So classy.
Very classy.
Yeah, it's just not my vibe. I don't know. It's just I don't know. Like, no offense to anyone who like goes to strip clubs and enjoys them or anything. It's just I don't know. I just don't see the fun in it.
Yeah.
Like I'd
yeah.
rather be in a fucking quiet bar, just chat with some mates over
Yeah.
some drinks.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like I don't know.
I think it's more like the spectacle, right? It's more like you're doing something with the boys for the boys or something. I don't know. But then like if like someone's going there to like fucking like jack off, I'm like,
Yeah.
or get
Like I don't
more.
even know the etiquette at a strip club. Like,
just.
are you allowed to whip it out?
No, probably not. You're thinking of the wrong types of
Am I
clubs.
thinking of a different club?
They have those clubs here.
Yeah. It's,
I know that.
They've got every type of club.
Yeah, oh
here.
yeah.
Any kind of weird sexual niche you can think of, Japan has a place for it.
I have walked into those, like, you've probably seen them in like Shinjuku and Shibuya and stuff like that. Those like they call Mudan Annaijo, which is like the free information desks,
Oh my god!
which is basically this curtained off
they're like
thing.
the rattiest looking things.
Yeah, it's this curtained
Oh.
off thing where you can walk in, and basically it's an information desk on all of, I guess,
They
the
just booked
adult
the prostitute
entertainment
for you,
places
right?
for
Right.
you. Yeah. Like, have you seen places like this?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
They
Yeah.
just- Don't they just book the prostitutes, or you just tell them how much money you want to spend?
You
and they-
literally walk in, and there's just walls of like different places, like soap lands or
Yeah.
like strip clubs or like girls bars and everything like that. And then you basically just go up to the information center and be like, I'm looking for this kind of place. Can you recommend me anywhere? And then the guy basically rings the place up for you and figures it out or gives you the contact. And I'm just looking at these places. I'm just like, none of these look fun.
Have you seen they have? I saw advertisements for in Shinjuku, in Kabukicho.
Yeah.
Things called happening bars. Have
Oh
you heard of
yeah,
these?
I've heard of
What's
these.
happening, bars?
It's bars people just fuck in the bar.
Oh.
Yeah.
it's-
Like they just go and it's a bar, and then I think like guys have to pay a fuck ton to get in, and the girls get in for free.
Yeah.
And the whole point of the bar is that you go there to have sex with strangers.
So
It's called a happening bar because it's you walk
it's
in.
happening.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
So
happening.
I think it was a really big thing in the 80s and 90s in Japan, and the
Right.
government cracked down on them, I think, a lot, but they're still around,
Yeah.
and they still
Yeah.
advertise. I think that, I don't know how legal they are, but
I don't think they're legal at all.
they're like advertising on like, I saw them on like Instagram and Facebook and stuff. I was
Yeah.
like, it's like, what the fuck? And I saw the big sign for it in Kabukicho.
Oh really?
So I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you basically just walk in and you're like, oh, my dick just happened to slip in. Whoopsies! Like that's their whole like gimmick, right?
I haven't been in, so I can't say what they look like or
Yeah.
how they
Yeah.
operate. But
I've seen them around. I've just never been into one, but I've heard
I'm
stories.
sure some tourists gonna be like,
I'm sure
"Huh."
some someone's watching this is going to be
There
like,
are
oh, I
tourist
wonder."
friendly ones.
Oh really?
I have seen them. I have heard of them.
Well-
There's a customer base now,
Yeah. You have,
But I know it's like, yeah, you have to pay like, I think I saw, because I think, what was it? I think I saw June sharing.
Lovejoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On like her socials. She was sharing one because she does a lot of sex work.
Yeah.
And so I think she was promoting one. I think it was something like Niman or Sunman to get in. if
Just
you're
to
a
get
guy.
in.
Just
If
to
you're a
get in.
guy.
What if you're a girl? Is it
I think it was
free?
like free.
Of course. Fuck's sake.
Well, I mean, look, there's going to
Yeah.
be a very, very heavy disproportionate
I mean,
Yeah,
that is
amount
true.
of customers
Yeah.
that are
That
going
is
in
true.
there.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's always pay to win.
Damn, spawn diff.
So, but I couldn't imagine that, because I guess if you went to that, I feel like even if I was like the most depraved version of me, I'd be like, man, just don't think I would want to risk catching anything.
Yeah, I guess like
I don't know. Also, doing it in public, I just
that as well. I already assumed that I was okay with that in this scenario. In this scenario, I'm all okay with all of that. And then I'm like, all right, who knows what I'm gonna catch today? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're called happening buzz. Like, I just happened to get chlamydia.
I don't know. Like, maybe there's like some. I'm also assuming there's like no precautions or anything here. Like, I don't know. Maybe they test you when you come. I don't fucking know.
I
don't know how you even test.
I don't think there's much OH&S going on. What's happening?
I don't think so.
There.
Yeah, I think it's just Jova.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, respect to people who can go for that. I can't.
Yeah. I'll pass on that.
I got no issue with it if you're all consenting adults. You want to do it, but
I just want to know, like, I want to know what actually happens in there, but I'm too scared to go in and actually figure it out for myself.
Your next trash taste special, boys.
we awkwardly rock up and watch people have sex.
Yeah,
that's the next special.
Yeah, I just want to know what goes on in there.
It is just fascinating the like levels of how deep the Japanese nightlife goes.
Oh yeah,
and how willing they are to accommodate for a price. It is ever fascinating, and I always have been so like impressed.
Yeah,
how deep it goes.
Yeah, I've always been fascinated by it because it's just so unique to other like adult entertainment facilities all over the world. But I just can't do it. Like I can't go in and get a first-hand experience.
Shit like this, I would love to make YouTube videos about. If YouTube would even allow you to have like these kind of like documentaries about. Because I'd love to just follow a guy that's like just a normal ass dude, and then just like watch the beast unleashed when he gets in the club, and like just him just explaining like afterwards be like, yeah man, I just feel good now, like you know.
There is a Japanese YouTuber that I've been seeing on and off who reviews soap lands.
No.
Yeah. He talks about the soap land. He like goes to the front of the building and then he's like, I've booked for 60 minutes, so I'll let you know how it goes. And then
he like review broth?
He's like review broth for soap lands, yeah. And he comes out and he was like, so the girl was like 7 out of 10. We started off by doing this, and this. And he goes into detail about what they did.
Oh my God.
I fucking forgot the name of the dude. It just like randomly popped up in my recommended ones.
I can just imagine the thumbnail of him be like, I'm disappointed. Soapy Deluxe 7 has fallen off. The latest offerings have been appalling.
My disappointment is immeasurable. My day is ruined.
My dick is ruined.
It's like, I got chlamydia, 3 out of 10. Yeah, I'll link it to you guys if I can remember the channel name, but it's insane.
Well, I mean, obviously in Japan, it's a lot more.
I'm sure audience are like, I feel disgusted at this idea. What is the name of this establishment? Just so I can sell, just so I can see for myself how disgusted.
It's like, where's the next one?
I would like to leave my own review.
Well, you know, we obviously have very. I mean, we're actually recording with Kao after this, so maybe it would have been good to ask her the Japanese opinion on this. But I mean, the general like Western mindset is that we're like, oh God, like this is a lot for us to take in because it's just not something that we're used to. But in Japan, it's like totally kind of normal. And like, pretty accepted. I mean, a lot of people don't like it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that everyone's like, yeah, we love it. It's like, but overall, especially among men, it's a lot more seen as like just kind of normal, which is kind of unusual.
Yeah,
I think the whole, fact that, for instance, like, for dudes especially, going into like a public bath and seeing your dude's dick is like a normal thing in society and culture. It's just like, I think from that point onwards, like everything else, like any like
it all stems from the baths.
Yeah, it all stems from the baths, I think, because it's like once you're like comfortable,
we can't share baths. We'll be fucking in the baths.
We're taking what, guys? We're taking on one.
Well, I think
let's just watch each other fuck. Yeah, I feel like that's the next step.
Well, I think also it's just because there's never any like Christian views that were not really injected into Japan. I think a lot of that is where we get it from.
Yeah, Japan is a 2,000-year-old isolated country on an island.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna create some weird shit.
I mean, sex here is generally very open.
Yeah. It's weird though, right? Because it's open, but also
extremely closed,
hidden.
Yeah.
And like extremely taboo in a weird way.
It's like people, it's out in the open, but people just don't talk about it. It's almost like the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
They just kind of forget that it's there.
Yeah,
almost. And then when it's put in front of them, they're like, oh, why'd you put that in front of me? So it's like it's been there the whole time. You just didn't see it. You know?
Yeah.
It's very strange. Yeah, we can talk about it more the next episode with Kaho. But hey, in the meantime, look at these lovely patrons.
Look at all these patrons.
Hey,
Right there.
how many of these patrons have been happening, bar? Let us know in the comments.
We've done an onsen. When's our Soplan special, guys? That's just the next step,
Our
right?
Soplan
We have
review
bathed,
special.
We have
Last
bathed
to come
together.
wins.
It's like, yo, I get a point for nutting 3 times in an hour.
And we have a bonus star. Most erect. We were secretly measuring your penises the whole
guys,
time.
we are going for the gold split. Who is speedrunning this right now?
We attached a GoPro to each of your cocks. Hey, anyway, if you want to check us out on Patreon, then you should do that because it supports the show. And every single week we have a Patreon exclusive content for you guys.
Exclusive.
We have one for you that you can go check out right after this. Mudan, play a clip.
You need my help on a question. Is that it?
Why
Is that it?
Oh, yes.
What the fuck?
I'm really stuck this time. I think it would already be over for me if I didn't have you.
Yo, chill, dog.
It's D.
What is this? What is this tension on? Okay.
That's what I want, Massimo.
Yeah.
Tell her.
D.
There's confidence in you.
Yeah. It's inspiring confidence, all right.
It's like, sorry, I wasn't listening to the
Yeah.
question. What did you say?
I mean, no, I was talking about your D.
I was talking about
Yeah.
your D, Massimo. But hey, if you want to check that out and support the show, then head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter, send us some memes on the subreddit, and if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify. And yeah.
See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.